Hi, this is Rekka, and I'm Gabby. Join us all summer long as we're on the hunt for local businesses and amazing hidden gems in our beautiful cities of Edmonton and Fort McMurray, which this totally isn't. Tune in, because this is RNG in the 780.
All right, we're going live. Hi everybody, my name is Gabby. I am the G part of RNG in the 780. And although we had a nice sunny day, it is a bit of a cloudy one today, but that's nothing to fret about because we're gonna take you guys inside to one of my favorite places ever. It's actually surprising that we haven't done this place sooner. This awesome, amazing place called F.R.E.E Fitness. So inside, I'm going to be interviewing the core members and founders of F.R.E.E Fitness. And then if you're lucky, maybe they might walk us through some stretches. I know that we've all been kind of doing the sad pandemic kind of slouching, not a lot of movement. So maybe get some of the muscles going. We'll see how I fare. I haven't done anything I deem exercise in a hot minute, so stay tuned. I'm gonna walk you inside. Awesome, so I'm here, like I said, F.R.E.E Fitness, F.R.E.E. Usually places don't have these listed underneath, so I lost that question. But I have to give a shout out to the guys that they didn't go F.R.E.E Fitness. I like this one much better because it ties in with F.R.E.E Fit. And I'm going to ask them about what each of these mean here shortly. But enough about me and talking about signs. Let's actually meet the guys here. So I'm joined here today by
Ty.
and
My name is Max LaRock.
and
Tony Wien.
awesome guys. Oh
And
wait, special
most
guest.
important part.
Of course, yes.
This is the gym dog, Lucy.
Oh, hello, Lucy. Okay, this is dog with distractions. All right,
Resident
Best.
therapy dog.
awesome.
Unregistered.
Oh, well.
It smells great.
Yeah, this is live on air. Come on, Lucy. No. Yeah, I guess a little distraction there, but always welcome if it's a dog with distraction. Guys, thank you for meeting us. I'm excited to be here. It's always interesting because they are kind of like our next door neighbors. It's interesting how we met when we first kind of met and were kind of hanging out and meeting them. I had kind of an injury. Well, not a kind of injury. I was in a boot for an Achilles injury, and then Tony actually had was telling me that like kind of things get better to at the time I thought it was great. What he said is take it one step at a time, and then I later learned that like it's because Tony had also injured his Achilles. I injured my left one, he did the right one, but you know what, that's how you kind of meet. And that was kind of the energy that I felt in the place, is like you guys were so welcoming and so kind, and I just exuded kindness and like you wanted and cared about health. So can you guys tell us about like your kind of backgrounds and what it means to you as health professionals? Starting with you, Ty.
Sure, yeah. So I've been in the industry for 8-9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off actually with something similar to you. I started off trying to be in the fire department until I blew my knee.
A lot of injuries happen.
Yeah, injuries got me to this. So going through that process and rehabbing got me into wanting to coach, and that's how I got into it. I started off in typical box gyms, LA Fitness, coaching at Good Life, until I met these guys.
Sweet.
And then, yeah, we went on this path.
Beautiful. Max?
So I've been a personal trainer for 12 years now. So I started when I was 14 years old. Not personal training, obviously, but I was training for the hockey that I was currently playing at the time. So it was mainly in regards to sports performance and things like that. And then I essentially fell in love with it, and it was just a massive passion of mine that just carried on throughout life. What I didn't kind of inadvertently know until, honestly, about 2 years ago was the impact that it had on my mental health. So as a younger individual, right, you kind of think that you're getting into working out just for the physical benefits, but the reality is there's much, much, much more to it than just the physical benefits that come from working out and living a healthy and more active lifestyle. And for me, it was the massive help with my own mental health. So that was a huge reason of why I keep doing it and why I promote the journey that I'm on. So
Beautiful. And Tony?
Yeah, so I've been the
coaching industry, fitness industry for eight years now. I graduated at the University of Alberta right in Edmonton here, and then pursued my passion in this field. And I love helping people with fitness, but what I love more is building those relationships with people, because it's such a holistic approach rather than just physical health. As Max mentioned here, it's the mental side, it's the physical side, and just helping people live their best life day in and day out, so that they can just be their best person. So, and then meeting up with these guys, we had similar passions, and we just grew from there to this point now that F.R.E.E Fitness is, our baby, in which that is our vehicle to help people, get healthy. So,
Oh, beautiful.
Tony and I have worked together for 7 years.
oh my goodness, I don't even know. Yeah, we met at the box gym together.
I was gonna say, how did you guys kind of meet? I feel like, and maybe this is me projecting, but when I kind of began to do like film production and everything, I had worked in it for a few years, and then after a while I was like, this is nice, but I kind of want to do my own thing and make like my own team and kind of my own company and have my own goals and kind of objectives. Was that the similar thing? Did you guys like put up an ad and there's one of those like call me sheets and you guys formed a team together? How did you guys come together and go, we got to make a place happen? How did that?
Well, we started, like Max and I, we left our box gym at similar times, and we're like, man, there's so much to do in a business that it's hard to do it alone. When you have teammates and coaches and partners, it allows you to bounce ideas off each other and build confidence with each other, in which we did. And then that kind of led us to meeting Ty like 6 years ago, and then since then us three have just been able to work together and grow this business that we all love. So
it's kind of it's a big industry, but you like once you're in it, you like know everybody. So like we kind of like knew of each other, and actually Tony and I played basketball together, and we met at a hospital.
At a hospital, yeah.
That's actually where we started talking, because I was having it's my first child or second child.
Oh, okay.
And I was
first child.
And I was bringing lunch to my now wife.
Yeah.
So we were trying to really impress her.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
Yeah, that's how we got started talking.
Yeah, about
So in a hospital, that's interesting. I thought the hospital story was actually gonna go way worse than another injury.
No more injuries.
Injuries are kind of united. It's crazy. I was gonna say I do love the name F.R.E.E Fit, and I did notice the sign, and I was going to try to take some guesses at what it stood for. None of my guesses came remotely close to what you guys had there. I think the best guesses I had was like something like fiery radical explosive energy or something like that, but I think I got energy. So 1 out of 4. How did you guys come up with the name? And can I ask you about why it's important that you guys had those kind of 4 what feel like core words in there?
Tony came up with the name.
It took a long time.
Oh yeah.
So we went back and forth on trying to find the name that kind of describes what we represent. And to feel free, there's nothing better than feel free. But obviously, using free can rub people the wrong way, right?
It's an interesting choice. Yeah. Okay.
So when we created the acronym, we're like, let's find words that really describe our team and our community. When you walk in the gym, we want people to be focused on their goals. We want them to rise up to different challenges. We want to provide as much energy for people as possible, and we want to empower you to be the best version of yourself. So those 4 words really represent our brand, our members, our trainers, and it took off from there. And now, in our opinion, when people talk about F.R.E.E Fitness in Edmonton, they kind of know, the community, the coaches, and our direction of where we want our gym to grow to.
And Tony just touched on it twice with community. And I think that's truly what separates us from probably every other gym in Edmonton, is the community that comes with us. And there's tons of gyms within the area, but they don't have the same sense of community that comes within being free. It really is a game changer, especially after the last 2 years we've had, where the world's kind of shifted to this more online community, which again, it has its ups and downs, but it's not ever going to be the same as having that energy trade-off that comes from being in person, with that sense of, again, very welcoming, empowering, energizing, rising.
Step aside and let you know. That's good. I was gonna say that the energy felt here of course we're live and people are still working out in there, so if you guys hear any weights being moved around, people on the treadmill, it's still going. You guys can even come down here and work out. Don't interrupt us. But come through. And one of the first things we had to ask was for them to turn off the music so we could stream this and not be struck by a bunch of copyright. And I was a little worried that there was going to be like a low-level mob, because I know how important music is to a workout. But surprisingly, everyone was very understanding, super supportive, and super kind about the whole thing. I don't hear any grumbles, so I think we're still good. Which definitely, I have to say, is a whole different vibe than I would say if I tried to do this at LA Fitness or anything.
That's right.
I think they would have told me to take a hike and
Yeah.
the music stays or I leave kind of thing. And I wanted to just kind of touch base on, you said community was very much at the focus and center of what you guys do. How important are you, like for your goals for your company, is it important that you guys want to build a community and have it grow, and that's what's important? Do you want to build the brand? What is at the very heart of F.R.E.E Fitness?
I think building out the company, the important part was letting the community build out what the brand was going to be, not the other way around. What a lot of people do is they build the brand, and they try to work around that. We built the community, which is the brand. And we spent years just getting out there, doing free stuff
Free
for
boot-
people.
free boot camps every
camps,
Friday.
For 16
So the
weeks.
free part was
a thing,
No,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
16 weeks straight, we hosted free boot camps in the River Valley area.
16 weeks?
Yeah, 16 weeks. Rain, sun, it was insane, man. I remember the first time we probably had 10 people max, and then it went to 20, 25. We got to a point where we had 90 people, and we were just loud. People in the condos behind us were like, "What's going on down there? Like, turn down the music." No,
We're building an army. Keep
we
it down.
cranked it even louder, and we
Yeah.
had people exercising, working out, doing burpees, running, and then from there we're like, "Hey guys, we're onto something here." And like, we have people that really support us and the brand, and let's transition to a point where we can do something really cool for Edmonton.
So you guys decided, hey, let's have a physical location because we were tired of the neighbors calling the cops and the mosquitoes kind of killing us in the summer.
That's exactly
kind of
it.
thing.
Basis of it.
Okay.
We even actually did a balcony boot camp at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
We actually had gone out in front of a condo building and had them on their balconies, and we were doing a boot camp as well. Obviously, it was free, just to get people moving, right? Obviously, especially at the beginning of the pandemic when things were really going a little crazy. We just decided it was a super important thing to do for the community.
Yeah, we brought our live DJ out, and he was spinning music. We were mic'd up, and we had people, working out on their balconies while respecting social distancing rules.
Of course, yeah.
And we did that for I think a full 2 months,
Traveling
going to
around the
different
city.
condos
Yeah.
and doing crazy stuff.
So a little bit of an insane question here for you guys. Would you do it again? Or are you guys like, we paid our dues, come here and see us, we're...
Loaded
Or was
question. Was that about the pandemic? I would rather not do that
Yeah.
again.
Okay, well, no, of course not. More about like kind of doing, because I think that idea of like the outdoor kind of boot camp is awesome. So would you guys consider that again, or was that like...
it's a staple that we do all the time. Yeah. So,
Okay.
we do right before the pandemic. We were doing a bunch of charity events, and that's really important to us. Get out in the community, do charity events, and we're not going to stop doing anything like that.
So yeah,
Which all involve boot camps.
Yeah, we slowly transitioned from the free events to maybe hosting one big event every 2 weeks. And then during those free events, we'd ask for donations to support a local charity in Edmonton. So now we're giving back even more to someone less, or a group that's even more deserving, that needs the the help, wherever the case is. So
And we still technically kind of travel to this day. Tony works with the University of Augustana, so he's down there once a month, once every 6 weeks with the athletes down there. I was at school in St. Albert last week talking about mental health and confidence with some junior highs. So we still do travel, even though we have our home base now, and this is where we would be running seminars and things like that, but we still obviously have the ability to travel boot camps, travel seminars, travel education, whatever it may be. So.
Yeah, beautiful. I was going to actually touch on something right there, which was mental health. I know that the pandemic has been brought up twice. I wish I could stop bringing up the pandemic, but it's terrible. It's still ongoing. We hated it, but at the same time, it allowed you to kind of develop, to you guys as kind of as professionals, how important, because I feel like not a lot is done. Like everyone can come work out for their physical health, but I feel like nothing ever gets done or talked about mental health wise. Did you guys find that, clients came back because they're like tired of being in my the same four walls all the time. I need something to do, even exercise. Was that something that you saw kind of a rise in, that they were flocking back to the gym more or less?
Yeah, like I think the pandemic definitely changed. There are people who prefer remote training or online training, but I think us opening a physical location and the success we've had so early on showed really people wanted to still be out, be in the community, be around people, because you feel good, you feel better when you're around people and people that are supportive. I think it's super important, and Max touches on that a lot.
Yeah, I think what I like to say is that one of the benefits from the pandemic was that it forced people into being in a space to actually look at their health and their wellness as a whole. Because there wasn't so many things that we could do to avoid dealing with a lot of the inner trauma, inner healing that we need to do, they actually had to sit down and sort of deal with it. Obviously, there was a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms that came throughout, but that being said, there was a lot of very healthy coping mechanisms that came throughout. I know myself personally I almost feel blessed that COVID happened. That's a weird saying, but that was what created the space for me to actually look at my relationship with alcohol, drugs, my own mental health. I'm just about to be a year and a half sober.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you very much. To be blatantly honest, that wouldn't be the case if COVID hadn't come out, because I was essentially a workaholic and I avoided my own trauma and my own childhood beliefs and all of what I thought were my core values, because I just hit it with drugs, alcohol, and work. And when you don't give yourself the space to realize that you've got a lot of inner turmoil going on, you're never going to deal with it. And the sad reality of that is that eventually it will manifest itself into something physical. And my big message is but to work on yourself before it becomes you're forced to work on yourself. Because if you have the capabilities to do it now, it'll be significantly easier with the time, resources, and energy to do so. And as if you wait for something to go unfortunately wrong, and then you realize the importance of your mental health.
It's cool because knowing him for this long, you can see how much he's improved. But now, as a coach too, he's provided so much more value to all his members and clients, because he knows what it feels like to be at your lowest. So then you can, when people are coming in the same situation as Max, he's like, oh, this is one example of how I helped myself. Let me guide you to help yourself and figure it out for yourself too, right? So.
No, that's awesome. That's always great to hear. Again, congrats on 1 year.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
very much.
keep trucking through. I was gonna say that you guys brought up your clientele and your client base and people that come through. I know that almost every gym that you ask, if you ask them who do you cater to, the answer is always everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a different one, a little curveball here. Who do you not cater to? Who would you not like to come through these doors? Is there any I know that so many places that I kind of used to go to way back when, they're like, oh, that guy, he is the worst. He throws the weights everywhere. This is just terrible. Is there a motto that people have to know and respect coming into here that you guys kind of, for your client base, would you say?
I wouldn't say there's anything on the books that says that we wouldn't let anybody come to our gym. We're not for anybody.
Okay.
But I mean, we do, obviously, we're big on respect and respect everybody that's in the gym. Everybody else is on their own journey, and you need to respect that. And if you can't do that, then you're not welcome at the gym.
Yeah, I was going to use the word respect. And whether you agree with somebody's beliefs or not, you are an adult, and we live in a society that you can still be in the same room with them and it not be an issue. So if there's ever going to be any sort of verbal, physical abuse in any way, shape, or form, then yeah, you'll be kicked out.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, I got to get to that without getting to that.
We've got a really big, scary dog to enforce all of these things.
Yes,
Make sure you know that.
she's very docile and kind right now, but let me tell you, as soon as he gives the word,
You start yelling in here.
Yeah.
So, I love that the word free is up there. It's my favorite F word, right behind fun. But I noticed, and some people were talking to me, that you guys have an interesting model. I believe it's called the pay as you will.
Yeah.
Pay how you feel.
Pay how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what that entails?
Sure. It's so again, like the big thing is we wanted to build a community, and in order to do that, we needed to make it accessible. And so we don't want coaching. Obviously, we need our coaches to get paid, but we don't want coaching to be a luxury. We want it to be for everybody. And so starting up, we didn't feel like we're worth anything yet until the brand becomes something. And so we allowed people to decide the rate that they paid a coach. And we just kept that model. People loved it. And it's a sliding scale of what people pay coaches. Whatever they can afford, whatever they feel comfortable with, and what do they feel it's worth. You're only worth what people are willing to pay.
No, of course. And that's
so
that goes big in the film industry, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So with that, have you guys found, because I know that unfortunately with the endless rise in cost of living and gas, has that helped you kind of keep some clients and acquire some clients? Kind of in the, I want to call it the post-pandemic. I don't know where we are in what stage. I feel like there might be another lockdown looming somewhere. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
But in the, what I'll call the post kind of pandemic reopening stages, have you guys found that that's been more helpful? And because I do agree, I know going to gyms, I'm like, I'll pay the membership. And they're like, here's how much it is for the trainer. I'm like, well, I guess the membership it is.
Yeah.
Do you guys find that it helps people kind of approach you and say, I'd love more, training on this kind of journey. I'm looking to either bulk up or cut or things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just much less of a deterrence for people just getting them in the door in the first place once they hear that. Exactly like you said, we all came from those types of gyms where it's really not about the client, it's about the sale. And that was largely why we came up with this plan in the first place, or this model in the first place, was the fact that we didn't want it to be a car salesman, very-esque way of selling personal training. And again, the beauty of this is that you are what you're worth. So what we used of that is, like, if I took a 2-week course to get certified as a personal trainer, am I really worth $60 to $70 an hour? The honest answer is no, right? But if you're working out of a box gym like that, your rate is set. Whether you're worth that or not, the client's going to pay it. Well, is that fair to the client to be paying $60 to $70 an hour to a trainer who might be worth $15 to $20 an hour? It's not, right? So that was a big aspect, was trying to make this as even for everybody, even the playing field, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So. And it's really allowed us to reach so many more people who wouldn't even step foot in a door because of X amount of dollars. So once we created that scale, man, we had people from different demographics in Edmonton come in, and at the end of the day, they just supported what we were doing, and they wanted to improve their health. And by us allowing our clientele to pay in this certain range, we brought in people who became super focused, which is part of our model, is that they knew they were getting the best rate and highest quality training in Edmonton. They're going to work their butts off, right? So it's all gratitude to be in here, right? So it really allowed us to grow our community even bigger.
Yeah.
Gratitude and not punishment. I think that's the big one, is just shifting that mentality behind working out or making healthy choices, whether it be mental, physical health. It's not punishment.
Yeah.
It's actually a show of self-respect towards yourself.
That's right.
So if we can make that more accessible for more people, then in theory, there's going to be better people out there. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, as a whole, right? It all works together.
And you guys said that you came to the idea of doing that because you saw the structures at kind of the box gyms. Was there a particular, who was the brains of it, or did it kind of you guys, when you met together, were like, you know what, this sucks, here's how to change it?
Yeah, we felt like there's a flaw in the PT world,
Okay.
and that we just wanted to solve small issues at a time, right? So how did we make fitness more accessible? Well, first we did free events. That's as accessible as possible, pretty much. But at the end of the day, too, is that we still wanted to grow our business.
Yeah.
So we had to somehow combine the two models to something that was unique and that was still gonna help people improve their health and build a living for us and our team of trainers. So the pay how you feel just kind of grew, and people laughed at us when we started it too, but they didn't understand why we were doing it. So it's been we're on to 7 years now with this, and we have so much momentum that I don't think we'll ever stop with this model, because it just makes sense to us.
And even for some of our newer trainers that work with us, it's actually good incentive for them to further their knowledge via physical health, mental health, whatever it may be. Because again, if someone is paying you $25, $30 an hour, maybe it's just a lack of education. And for a lot of newer trainers, that is the case, right? So what can you do? There's tons and tons of free resources out there, and seminars you can do, and courses you can do, and all kinds of things that you can do to further your knowledge. And that's an incentive for a trainer who, if you want to make more money, well, provide a better product, right? Provide a better service as opposed to just showing up just to go through the motions.
No, that's really interesting that you guys kind of took the idea of the trainer is kind of working, like as you said, that he'll have more motivation, or they will have more motivation to do so and get that client base. But also, I love that with this model, I know that you said that it began with har, and I feel like a lot of ideas begin with that.
That's
it's a shame that nobody is like, that sounds great. They're always like, I don't know. But I love that you said that it opened it up to more demographics, that you guys have found kind of success in it. I hope that you guys carry it forward, because that is a huge difference that, like, going through your site, I love seeing. One of the things that I always hate, and I feel like it's the hardest workout, is anytime you join a gym trying to leave said gym. I feel like it's endless mental gymnastics. So the fact that you guys are kind of taking the structure, picking it apart, and then you're like, this sucks, this is great, this works, and adapting it is something I love. And the fact that you guys are here. So how long have you guys had this location open?
March 7th was our official opening date.
Yeah.
Well, opening date, yeah.
Opening day. So we had a previous location before.
Okay.
It wasn't our space though, because we took over someone else's business.
Okay.
But now, after when the pandemic hit, we're like, you know what? Let's rebrand. Let's find a location that is us, so that we remodeled this facility to what it is today. And this is kind of us now, on the walls, on the equipment, how it's set up. This is F.R.E.E Fitness. So I'm excited to show you the space.
Perfect. Yeah, I noticed that someone mentioned walls, and I would like to just highlight something on said wall. So tell me a little bit about this awesome number that you got signed by the mayor.
Yeah, he came to our grand opening. It's really nice of him. He came and he gave us this plaque to represent that he felt what we were doing was great, and this is his way of showing it. Yeah, it was great.
Was it did you guys do a...
Yeah,
we did.
We went all out. We had probably 150 people come out.
Oh, wow.
And that was right when the restrictions were pretty much lifted. So it says March 19th was our grand opening. So all the restrictions were moved March 1st. So people were ready and people were excited. So this place was full. And once again, we brought our DJ. We had sponsors and the mayor. It was so cool, man, to have Mr. Sohi come join and bring that plaque for us. So
that's awesome that it happened kind of as restrictions were lifted. I can't imagine how ribbon cutting would have gone if they're like, cut the ribbon, get out of here. Exactly. So it's awesome. You guys seem to be, like, just looking at the pictures, everything you have up there, accolades, the awards, innovators in your kind of own kind. I wanted to touch up on something, but I don't know how to bring it up. But if the camera will pan down, you will notice that Tony and I are wearing some awesome shoes. Let's see, F.R.E.E Fit. Yeah, look at that. So why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, since I was 8.
Okay.
It's been 21 years in the making now that I've had this dream of owning my own shoe brand. I love certain NBA players, and I love that they can brand their own shoes. So I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to brand my own shoe. It's taken me 21 years to get to this point, but like I said, it's like you go through the processes of being able to grow something, and I felt like this was the perfect time with the gym opening and our community being so supportive. I was like, I'm going to create my own shoe. So I had someone design it and manufactured this overseas, and they were shipped to Canada, and we're right about to launch my new F.R.E.E Fitness focused shoe coming to Edmonton. I'm almost certain I'm the first one in all of Alberta to do something like this, so I'm pretty excited to launch.
Well, I mean, I'm super happy because I feel like I've just gotten an exclusive that no one else has, so I'll take it. Gabby loves exclusives.
Yeah.
What does it, like, what are you hoping, who's kind of the client base that you're hoping that you get to with these shoes?
So we get a lot of newcomers to the gym who don't have proper gym wear. And you'll see them come in, they're wearing like their 30-year-old pair of New Balances that are completely worn out, and they still don't have good footwear. So now we're able to provide a shoe for them to feel comfortable in as well. It's a very classic shoe, black and white, to help people even feel more comfortable when they step foot literally into our gym.
Very good.
You want to build a sense of community, put some shoes on.
Put some shoes
on.
on.
Because then you represent the community even outside, because people will notice that too and say, oh, what kind of shoes?
Yeah, that was the big thing I was going to say. I mean, like, love the shirts. Awesome, by the way. If you guys could throw one in there too, that'd be great. But one of the biggest things is, like I know many, like you said, we call them box gyms, was it?
Yeah.
Shirts are a big thing, hoodies are a big thing. I don't think I've ever been to a place that's done kind of shoes, and I'm like, wouldn't that make sense? Because I'm like, you're working out, like I assume you're on your feet unless you're doing, arms, right? Like, so like, wouldn't you want to have shoes? And especially like, I like the fact that it's branded to here and it's to your location, which is an added bonus. I like that you guys did black and white as well.
Right.
But that's all the self promo we're gonna do for the shoe there. I am excited to kind of see your guys' space. If you guys will walk us through it,
sure.
And then maybe if you want to, some exercises.
Yeah, let's get it.
Good stretch.
Let's go, Lucy.
That's
So-
a big stretch.
Oh wow! Yeah. So like we said, we're
Just
doing
kidding,
this.
we're closed right now. It's fine.
we're doing this live. This place was packed. I don't know if you guys could hear some of the weights moving around and treadmills happening. So I was a little worried when we panned in. I was like, let's point to the ground so we don't interfere with anybody or have to get any more releases signed. But it's great that it's all ours for the day. So hopefully this will go awesome. Where did you want us?
As our main gym, our big focus on creating this gym was to have space. So if you want to pull up a barbell or a dumbbell, use a rack for pull-ups or rows, we just wanted space. So no heavy machines that get cluttered in the way. This has always been the type of training we focused on, where everything is very realistic to what you would do in a regular day life, whether that's picking things up, sitting down, climbing stairs. That's the gym environment we want, and that's how we coach our clients to be the best and strongest version of themselves. So this is kind of our vision. We're also big into sports, so we have a basketball hoop or tennis net.
Kind of like a mini rec center.
Yeah.
And then what's it? Golf?
Yeah, we golf.
In the corner
Right,
there, like
so-
in between trying to get ready for their interview and everything, they were doing a couple rounds, and I was like, that's interesting. That's awesome. So I love that there's so much room in here. I have to say that you definitely feel that. I don't know if we can camera pan around to the amount of space. It feels like I'm not super close to somebody when working out, because that always is a little bit of a fear, where it's like you kind of sit and you're like, I have exactly one arm's length motion before I'm like interfering in the bubble. What is probably the most common exercise or stretch that you guys do to, I don't know, like I was telling everyone outside, my neck and my back from sitting down throughout the pandemic. I know that you guys all talk about healthy alternatives that you took from the pandemic. Let me tell you, I don't know if I took many healthy alternatives. If anything, I was sitting around watching on Netflix, editing away. Anything you guys would advise for people at home who can follow as well on how to release stress or tension from any exercises?
I think we're gonna go over some exercises
Oh,
with you. I think
there it
we're-
is. Locked it in. Wonderful.
One of the most, if you were capable of, the most accessible, even from the mental and physical benefits, would be just walking.
Yeah, just moving. Yeah, in general.
Moving, walking in general, though, there's so many benefits that have come out through research in the last couple of years to prove just how important walking is. And there's so many different benefits to it. And again, if you're in a position to be capable of walking, you should be emphasizing more walking in your life.
So would you say if people are at home kind of working to kind of take, because I've heard this a lot and there's always endless mixed ideas on it, to kind of walk once every hour, is it, or every 2 hours? I gotta go for a quick 10 minutes.
I mean, there's no optimal way. It's just getting up and doing the steps at some point in time. That's where it's tough, because if you say there's optimal ways of doing things, well, if your schedule doesn't allow that, that'll actually deter people from doing it, because they're like, well, if it's not optimal, I'm just not going to do it. Reality is, as long as you get your steps in, you're going to see the benefits from it.
Beautiful.
Right? Even again, just getting outside from a mental health standpoint, that allows for clarity. I always suggest my clients doing unplugged walks. A lot of people that do walk, they either have to listen to an audiobook, have to listen to music. There's a lot of research to prove, again, from the benefits of actual clarity standpoint, is if you do it unplugged, you'll be much more inclined to actually being present, looking at the trees, looking at the grass, looking at the things and appreciating them. Whereas if you're always disconnected, you're always connected, then you won't actually pay attention to a lot of your surroundings.
That's actually interesting. I've never, I think I should try, because as soon as you said walking, I was like, throw on an audiobook, throw on music, everything, and I was like, unplugged, huh? I'll have to try it. I feel like it's maybe one of the...
It's hard early on.
It's
hard. It's hard to turn your brain off.
And just be focused?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
this
to
is-
not focus.
to not
that's,
focus.
That's the real trick, is to not focus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Because you don't want to be walking around hyper-focused.
Okay. So
So
it's
you just want to be present, but not focused necessarily.
Huh.
And
Okay.
that's where the power of meditation and all those good things come in as well.
The more you know. If you guys want to give it, you called it unplugged walk?
Yeah, disconnected, unplugged walking. There's a lot of benefits. Even there's a type of therapy called EMDR, which is very much this kind of like very simple way of looking at it is it's uncovering the layers of an onion.
Okay.
There's actually new research to prove that walking in an unplugged environment, in as scenic an environment as possible, so you can be around trees, just anything nice outside, it actually has similar benefits to EMDR.
Wow.
So it's a much cheaper form of therapy if you just get outside and walk disconnected as opposed to going to EMDR. So
Wow.
yeah, very interesting research to prove that.
So as opposed to everything Audible's been shilling and pushing, try not to do Audible and not to do music. You heard it here first. So yeah, I guess I am your subject. Do with me as you will.
Nice.
Who wants to take me
You want to go top down? We can start with some
start
T-spine
top.
stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to go anywhere specific? Or?
Yeah.
Cool.
Follow us through.
Okay. So we are going to make this as accessible as possible. So even for this specific pattern, we don't even need to load this. So if you're at home and you don't need dumbbells, you don't need resistance bands or anything along those lines. So in terms of the tight neck that's been happening, again, a lot of people on the computer, spending too much time watching TV, on their phone, whatever it may be, a lot of it is the lack of motion coming from the scapula. So most people, especially in high stress situations, they tend to kind of shrug up their traps like this. This will lead to tension headaches and just a lot of ill benefits that will come from that. So one of the biggest things is actually just getting movement. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get you into what's called a quadruped position. So we are going to be on all fours, just like so.
All right.
Now again, if you're capable of getting this position, if you can't, then we may have to put you against the wall. But what we want is our wrist, elbows, and shoulders in a nice straight line, so we don't want to have our hands in front.
Okay.
We want to put ourselves in a position that we can push our scapula straight to the roof. So what this is called is scapular protraction. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus on protracting and pushing up your upper back.
Oh wow.
Like so. Okay. From there, you're going to hold it for a good 3 to 5 seconds, feeling a nice stretch. From there, we're then going to retract the shoulder blades. So without bending the arms, we're going to retract and depress our shoulder blades together. So there should be a decent amount of motion. Now, in theory, if we're trying to hit our T-spine, we shouldn't let our rib cage pop too much. So what I mean by that is you don't want to end up in this position where you're doing more of a cat-cow stretch. That's going to be further on. So we're going to protract again. We're going to get up and just make sure you're doing this one properly here. So from a side view, you want to think that we're pushing our scapula straight up to the roof. We do want to try to avoid that shrug that potentially might be happening. So again, if you're someone who has overactive traps, it's a good chance you might feel this in your traps the first few times you do them. So it's really important that we think the middle of the scapula is what's being protracted or pushed up to the roof. And then when he brings them together, he wants to think about pinching his shoulder blades down and together. Okay? So now he's actively pulling and retracting the scapula in this position here. So again, very important that we get movement in the scapula before we worry about loading the scapula. And that's a common misconception, is that we want to lift, lift, lift to get strong. If you can't actively move your scapula very well, when you come to actually strengthen and load your scapula, you're not going to be getting the same benefits. A lot of people, when they do a row, they think their back is doing all the work. In reality, their bicep is taking all that load because they're not actually moving their scapula, it's just their biceps doing everything. So we want to make sure that we actually can articulate the scapula, and this is a great way to start. Again, especially being on all fours, it takes your brain out of it. So a lot of times when you do things and you're standing, your brain will immediately revert to focus on standing. So if you're someone who lacks the ability to really control and articulate their scapula, if we do anything standing, you're not going to get a good idea from how to actually do so. So when we put you on all fours like that, it really simplifies the motion and allows you to really connect your mind to the muscle that we're trying to actually get moving. So now from there, an exercise that we can do to strengthen this is called a wall press. So again, very accessible. There's a couple modifications we can do for this one. So if possible, we're going to get you against the wall like so. So now you can't do this standing, again, like I just mentioned though. When we're standing, it's going to take away from the benefit in the sense of if we lack the ability to articulate our shoulders, being in a seated position is going to be much easier. So a couple things we want to focus on here is trying to keep our low back as flat to the wall as we can, as possible. There's going to be some arching, that's totally fine. So what we want to do in this position with our wall press or wall angel, there's a couple of different variations. You're actively trying to keep your shoulder, elbow, and wrist against the wall as much as you can. Now, if you don't have great overhead mobility or just strength in your scapula, you may have to press farther out. If that's too easy, so this is going to be more of a regression. If that's too easy, we can actively think about pressing more vertically. And this is the heaviest gravity in the world over at F.R.E.E Fitness because we don't pay for it. So. Okay, so again, our progressed version is going to be pressing out more to the side, still trying to get some upward elevation of the scapula. And if that's too easy, we're going to bring our hands closer together and try to press as vertically as we can, still trying to maintain those points of contact with the elbow, shoulder, and wrist.
Okay.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Let's get it, Gab. Come on.
Yeah.
Feel that one.
So here.
Okay, so we're going to test out his overhead mobility. So we're going to bring the elbows back to the wall or shoulders back to the wall. Okay, from there we're going to try to press as straight up as we can. Yeah, and again, you can see how he's actively trying to push back into the wall. Again, forcing the elbow. Now again, if you come off the wall, that's totally fine. All this is basically showing us is that we have some work to do in regards to actually getting your shoulders a bit more mobile.
Oh yeah,
we will be across that mid-back. Probably about 3 reps in, he'll definitely start to feel it. So even if you do something at home, 2 sets.
He said 3, right?
Yeah, 2 sets of 6
You look
to
great.
10 reps.
Keep going.
And that face isn't lying. There's no lying with that face right now. So he's definitely feeling this one. And again, it's not like you need a bunch of heavy weights or anything along those lines. This is something you can do. And again, you can do a variation where you're standing as well. You can really try to make this one difficult by actively keeping your back flat the whole time. Because the more we arch the hips off, the easier it's going to be. If we push that back flat, keep it relatively neutral, and do this, all of a sudden, this becomes real hard. Real hard. As you can tell in the tone of my voice when I hit about here, without actually just coming up and pressing forward.
Yeah, it's insane. I have to say, like, when you were sitting down kind of doing this, I was like, that doesn't look too bad. And then you're like, gravity is free. I'm like, what does he mean by that? And now I'm like, doing this,
Yeah.
just, I don't know if you guys can see it, but like, my arms are like,
Yeah. And right when he stands up, he's going to feel right across this part of the
great.
scapula.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Hooray.
But again, this is going to help open up our posture as well. Right? A lot of people, especially back in the day when we think of good posture, people just bring their chest up. Well, that's not really good posture. If anything, it's actually creating more issues in my lower back. So when we think of good posture, a lot of that comes from strengthening your posture, right? You can only do so many stretches. If we don't strengthen the muscles that are going to pull everything back into place, then we're going to be forcing this position, which in theory is going to cause more issues than anything. Really important that we stretch and strengthen, not just stretch or not just strengthen, right? We want to do a combination of both to get the best possible results.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding. I feel like were these muscles asleep? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I just like tried to politely wake them up, and now it's like.
Look taller too.
Open his posture.
Yeah, that's wow, and that's all it kind of took. And it's interesting. I will say, like, it's probably because you guys are, of course, when you were like sitting there doing, like, that doesn't look so bad. And once I got in there, I was like, why does this hurt? How come I can't go? And like, as soon as I would go up, my entire arm was like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to stretch this. I don't know. But
You've been a personal trainer for 12 years. You get really good at demoing reps for 2 to 3 reps. Anything past that, that's too much work for us. But 2 to 3 reps, we can do perfectly.
Even in this, like when they were like, oh yeah, at 3 he'll start to feel it. I'm like, yeah, sure, at 3. I felt it at 1. This is intense. Okay, that's feeling a lot better. Now, is there a proper term for this? Because we always get told that it's called nerd neck, but I feel like there must be a more professional term.
You say nerd neck?
Yeah. Like every time I have this, and I'm like, oh yeah, so you have nerd neck. I'm like, that can't be like the scientific name for this.
Just like personally, I've never heard of nerd neck.
Okay.
In
Perfect.
my personal
Wonderful.
experience,
I'm just making
I
things
feel
up
like
right
if
now.
I said nerd neck, I'd probably get in trouble too.
Yeah,
so,
so that's
Personally,
why,
I do the shrimp.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shrimp.
Okay.
That's a little
That's
bit more
better.
appealing,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, because I was like, I don't know if I like that. That's. But then, someone tried to say that it's frontal posture. Like as you said, you were mentioning about posture.
Or just like an anterior roll of the shoulders, like just being more anterior dominant.
Okay.
Right? And again, depending like if you work up front or you're driving a lot and you're in a position where you're not actively doing anything to bring the shoulder blades back to that alignment, then you're going to end up with that kind of more forward rolled posture.
Huh. Okay. So.
Don't overthink like that. It's like there's this issue. It's more of like, if you're in a position that you can't get out of, that's a problem. And that's when he's like showing you like this is why it's like a problem, because now you're stuck. If you can't get out, then you're gonna create all these issues that are gonna work way down your body.
If you're in that position lots, but you have the strength to pull yourself out of it, that's fine. And that's even just to make sure to solidify, like, it's not a good or bad posture, right? A lot of fitness isn't good or bad, and that's what we try to really get away from as a whole, because it's not good or bad. It's for who and for what.
Right. Okay.
Something that might be bad for somebody could be exactly what somebody else needs.
It's a problem if you can't get out of it.
Yeah, and that's a very, I want to say, lack of experience when people say something is good or bad, because it's not a black and white thing, right? There's tons of gray areas, always for who and for what, and it's the same with mental health too. It's like, oh, it worked for me, it should work for you.
Right.
If it was that easy, I don't think the world would have the problems it has right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Or the solutions.
Or the solutions, exactly. That's a good spin on that.
That's right. That was great.
Well, so that's the T-spine. So now Ty's going to take you through some mid-spine stuff. So we're going to work our way down.
So we'll work on the lower part of our back and
Okay.
like some of the other stuff. So he kind of touched on like the posture and stuff like that. So what I find a lot with people who are staying at home, sitting all the time, is that your spine should be able to move around, go in and out of a posture, kind of like what Max was saying. And what happens is like, especially the lower part here, probably from here to here, this becomes like a stick on people. So they can round up here, and as soon as they get to here, this just moves like a stick. And so we want to be able to find fluidity in there again and take some of the pressure off, because a lot of people get that lower back, mid-back pain. So a stretch I like to incorporate is the first variation that I show is I get people on the ground, and I get them sitting on the ground, and if they can like grab something kind of underneath their legs. Yeah, perfect, yeah. And yeah, if you can grab your leg or anything like that, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold on and you're gonna pull your body forward until you feel like you're getting a big rounding sensation in the back here. Yeah, there you go. So you wanna pull forward. There you go. And ideally, you're gonna use some leverage. So you wanna grab onto your knees or something like that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to pull your body back, but your arms are kind of holding on and forcing you to tuck. And you try to push away, and what's it going to do is going to force your like mid part of your back and your lower spine to like flex and round and add some fluidity there. And what we want to do is kind of just push against that, and then just kind of breathe in and out and hold those positions and try to find that flexion in the spine again, so it's not sitting like a straight stick.
Now, question.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to hurt as much as it's
Yeah, it probably will. Are you feeling a lot in the lower part of your back?
I feel like maybe I had an iron beam that we're trying to like push.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So, one thing about stretching that's a misconception is you never want to go to your 100% and just try to like hold on and get to the worst part you can and have this face. If you can't relax, your body's never going to adapt, right? Your body's going to, that sensation of like freaking out is your body fighting the fact that it doesn't want to go there.
Okay.
And so I tend to say like go to that max and then come back a few degrees and we'll work there, right? So you want to find a spot that you can find the sensation, you find a stretch, and then you just want to relax there. Take some breaths and relax. 2 to 3 minutes of just like having a rounded spine will go a long way for somebody who's just sitting all the time like this, right? And what we'll do now is we'll stand on up and we'll do some strengthening for the back part. So what we'll do is we'll do some hinging, and we'll load up like your glute and your hamstring here, and we'll do a single leg variation. I find this easier for people to learn. So we'll get into like this kickstance position.
Okay.
Perfect. And what we're looking to do is load the back part of our leg here. And a typical hinge is you're keeping your back straight, and you're just kind of pushing your hip back. And we're looking for a load in the back part.
Oh, okay. That's.
And now you can add a little soft bend in the knee there, and just to break the point so it's not going down to your calf. You want to push. Now, what I like to tell people is a lot of people, especially at home, if they haven't exercised before, it's really hard for them to hold extension and hold this straight. You can come on up. So what I like to is don't focus too much on the back. Focus on pushing back and think of pulling your belly button down. And that'll teach your body to like flex at your hip, and it's gonna think of belly button going towards your knee. Even if you're adding some rounding there, and you'll get a big pull sensation that's wrapping around here, and that's what you want. All this is connected to the lower part of your back, and your glute, and your butt. And once you can get into that position and you find a big pull, you can kind of squeeze your butt, which will extend your hip, and you can come up and release. And you can do that, 3 rounds of 5. But again, it's just finding a sensation in the back of the leg there.
Try it on this side.
Try the other leg. So don't worry too much about the back. Just think of pulling your belly button down, which will force some flexion in the hip there. And if you can do that, you should get a big pull in here, and then releasing is just kind of squeezing and coming through. Good. And kind of like how Max was touching, like don't overthink like this is the perfect position. A lot of people will, really focus on keeping a straight back, which is perfect when you're exercising an extended back. But if the goal is just to move and find some strengthening, focus on other aspects. If you can't keep the back straight, that's okay. Think of pulling down with your belly button to load the hamstring. There's other ways of doing it.
Yeah, beautiful. That definitely. I gotta come out here more, guys. This is.
You have no excuses. You're next door.
Thank God this is streaming, and I can't do it out or anything.
Well, and one really important thing that Ty touched on there too is, again, it's not about being perfect, right? In the world, you're not going to walk around with your shoulder blades perfectly retracted, and you're not going to bend over to pick your kid up with a perfectly neutral spine, right? So you don't need to train as if we live in this perfect world, because we don't. If anything, we need to be more adaptable to our imperfect world by training in these states that our body's meant to go in, it's flexed extension, whatever it may be.
We're not robots. We're not made of sticks. There's fluidity. So
Someone should tell my spine.
Yeah.
It was insane to even the back. I was like, okay, I can kind of feel this, but that was just the lower back. I was like, have I ever moved it beyond that position? I feel like it's always sat in this and never moved once. So
and that's where the injuries come in, right? Like we've all had it. Like I've had deadlifters who can pick up 500 pounds with a straight back, and then they go to tie their shoe with a rounded back, and they blow it. It's because they never train a rounded back. They're always so focused on one single movement, and so it's good to spend some time cross training your body. So
you look like you have a torture device.
This is the last one, man. So we've kind of working our way up through the spine. And the last thing we're just focused on is a little bit of hip extension.
Okay.
So for most of us who sit lots during the pandemic, even just not pre-pandemic, people were sitting lots. When you're sitting in this position lots, especially in our North American society, toilets, chairs, they're all sit at 90 degrees. So our hip flexors, we're seeing a lot, get shortened. So what we're going to focus on is extending those hip flexors with a stretch and then a drill to strengthen that area as well.
Okay.
So what you'll do, this is for your knee gap, just so your knee's not just sitting right on the hard ground. You're just going to take a knee simply in this position here. I can coach you through that movement pattern right here. So one knee in front. And from there, you're just going to put this hand right here. And what we're actually going to be focusing on is this right hip flexor on this side. So your focus right now is just to squeeze your right glute, which will promote hip extension right here. Okay?
It's promoting it.
That's right. Without arching in your lower back, you're going to try to find that neutral spine by still maintaining this good core position right here. And then simply just flexing your right bum cheek to push this hip flexor forward right there. Should be a nice stretch to the quad, but mostly in between right here. And this is an easy term called couch stretch, because as you get better, you can elevate that foot slightly. So if we're just going to move this foot ankle just slightly like this, and you're actually going to flex this foot, you'll feel even a little bit more of a stretch in that hip flexor. This is where, as Ty mentioned, it's about being fluid, right? So we're not looking for that pain. You're just taking a deep breath and breathing, releasing tension so that you can extend that hip flexor. So squeeze that glute.
I noticed you mentioned the word easy, and I don't know what this is.
I don't know if you know the definition of easy.
And a simple stretch that anybody can do at home, especially when you're sitting lots all day. You can get up every hour to make sure that we take care of our hip flexors, right?
Wow, I didn't even think about hip flexors. I was like back.
Yeah. And a lot of times when we have really tight hips, it's kind of our longevity joint. When we become tight in this area, it can cascade injuries down, up, to our knees, to our ankles. So if you're like, I have a knee injury, and you focus primarily on the knee, but the point of the injury is actually at your hips, you'll never fully fix this knee because it's stemming and rooting from somewhere else.
Wow.
right? So hips are incredibly important to focus on. I'm going to switch sides. So once again, take that left knee onto the mat there. Good. And then pop that right knee, right foot up here. That's exactly it. And then squeeze that left bum cheek, which promote hip extension in this position right here.
Yeah, that's.
And just breathe, right? Release tension. Don't hold your breath. And we can adjust this foot to get a little bit more. And doing this 3 or 4 times a day for 30 seconds per leg the benefits there's tons of benefits.
Like Shakira says, your hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie, baby. Good.
Let me tell you, that's.
The next drill we're going to do, it's just called a hip bridge. So we're actually going to lay right beside me right here. And you can actually lay that mat actually underneath your head, Gab.
Okay.
Just so your head's not just directly onto the floor. That's good. We're going to bring our feet kind of shoulder distance apart. You almost want to imagine that you can reach your heels or your hands to your heels. So bring your feet as close as you can to your bum. And if that's as far as you can go, that's as far as you can go. Okay? From here, you want to imagine shifting the weight just slightly to your heels. So your toes can be slightly up. Okay? And what we're going to do now to promote hip extension is actually squeezing your glutes and lifting your hips up as high as you can without arching your lower back. That's a good position right there. So squeeze those glutes. Take a deep breath and hold. Yeah, don't hold your breath. You hold for 5 seconds. Good. Then drop your bum back down without touching the ground. Hip flexion, drop your hips down. And then pushing back up and holding for 5 and hold right here. And this is going to promote that lower back extension as well and strengthen your glutes in this position here. Good. Drop back down. Good. Yeah. And push back up and extend. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good.
Oh. What helped was the soothing voice.
Right? The soothing.
This man has been through the labors of childbirth.
Yeah, exactly. 2 kids now.
Oh, jeez.
Good, man.
I am not in shape. I just realized. But hey,
Oh, man.
that's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
So we can.
Start anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? So already, just by doing those 6 exercises, you probably feel a lot of tension release all the way from your neck to your hips.
It's incredible that I just. What was that? Couple minutes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or so, yeah, like
stuff you can do at home, anywhere, without even having touched the weight yet, right? So.
beautiful. One last one, because I feel like I want to win anything. This lovely pain that goes here.
Yeah.
Anything for that?
Yeah. So typically, without doing like a full assessment, that might be your levators. Super important because you're in this position all the time. So a couple stretches you can do for that. So we're gonna stretch this left side here. What you can do is we can lock your scap in. You're gonna reach behind your neck, behind your back here as best as you can without putting yourself into pain right there. And then from here, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna tilt your right chin your chin to the right, and imagine tucking your nose kind of into your armpit, your right armpit down here.
Oh wow.
Right? So that lengthens this tight muscle that you might be extending all the way through here.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but it feels like that is twitching like crazy.
And remember to breathe through this movement, right? So you kind of want to find that range that you currently have. And when you take a deep breath in, you breathe out, and you just breathe. And make sure you do it both sides.
Quickly touch on Tony's point from the hips too. Is a lot of times if you feel in your neck, it doesn't mean that the injury or discomfort is in your neck. A lot of times, again, it's coming from something lower that could be stemming up into there. So that's where, again, it goes into the importance of strengthening and lengthening, not just doing one or the other, because as he gets his back and his scapula stronger, right, that will help to alleviate a lot of that stress as well.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's a great example where these couple stretches you do as a prep before you actually strengthen. Right? You strengthen the new range that you've created so that you can get back to a position that's optimal, I guess, best for what you're doing in life, right? So.
Wow.
Especially if you've been pretty sedentary these last 2 years with the pandemic and everything, like get moving before you worry about lifting. That's a big thing that people want to go jump into as hard as they can. In reality, again, if you can't articulate the muscles that you're trying to build, are you really building the muscles you're trying to build?
No, that's totally like, so the big takeaway that I've taken from this is stretch, but also get moving. You guys have mentioned kind of movement and kind of getting out there, walking, just to highlight back and bring you guys back through everything that's been talked about, kind of unplugged walks. I'm going to try that. That's going to be on my goals to do. I feel like with how much content I consume, that's going to be harder than the walk itself. That's right. It's me trying not to hyper-focus on things. But that could be something that I need that I didn't know I need. These stretches, if you guys are watching, were ultra helpful. I already feel better, thanks to you guys doing so. Oh boy. And those are just stretches, no strengthening there at all?
No, because I mean the wall press is technically strengthening, the hinge is technically strengthening.
Don't overthink stretch. Like if you're doing proper stretching, you're doing strength training. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like lengthening is hard because you're strengthening a position. So don't overthink anything that this is this and this is that. It's you move your body. If stretching is strength training. You know, there's just different types of strength training.
Beautiful. Perfect. No. Thank you guys again for joining us and doing this, and
thank you
for giving us this place without music. I know that everyone wants to kind of get it back, but I really appreciate it because it's actually difficult. It was surprising many places are like, no way. Yeah. Absolutely not. But for our viewers to know, when are you guys kind of open? When are you guys available? Where can we find you?
So our hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then Saturday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Find us on our website, freefitnessinc.com. We're very active also on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is Free Fit. That's it with the periods. And then Facebook is Free Fitness Inc. At Free Fitness Inc. on Facebook. So connect with us, and we love to give you guys a hand. And we're doing lots of cool things this year, so we're excited to be back.
Anything's coming up?
So we have this weekend we have a free lower back workshop hosting at the gym here. That'll be Sunday at 11 a.m. completely free. For this reason specifically is that we want to help people feel better with their lower back tightness. So we can't wait to host that. And then Ty's running a class in a couple weeks for spine training as well. So we got some cool stuff coming up.
And just to touch that lower back seminar is being run by our in-house physiotherapist. We didn't really highlight him at all, but we do have an in-house physiotherapist. Again, we try to keep everything within one roof. That if our clients do have any injuries, then we can work directly with the physiotherapist to get the client the best results possible.
Awesome, and that was Catalyst?
Catalyst Physiotherapy.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just give you all a plug in there one time. And you said it's an in-house physiotherapist. So
he was just down over there.
Just across the thing then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where you were, he was just in the other room.
Yeah.
Would we be able to shout him out?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Exclusive, just for you guys.
Hopefully this stuff.
Like, excuse me, sorry.
She's like, what are you guys doing?
How you feel? Good. It feels much looser. It's good.
This is our guidance.
Then we won't interrupt you. We're just gonna shout you guys out if that's all good. Come on through. So Catalyst Physio and Sports Performance, right next door to our awesome friends here at Free Fitness. So just with that, I think I will tie it up and wrap it up. It's been Gabby. Rec has been kind of behind the camera, being a champion, doing none of the exercises whatsoever, even though she told me that we're gonna trade off. She just wanted those face reactions. I can feel it. But I appreciate you guys for joining us today. Thank you again to the Free Fit team. You guys giving us your time. Huge shout out to them. So please come see them. Tell them we sent you. I don't know what else to plug in there. And have yourselves an awesome day. Until next time.
You're gonna get ready. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, rolling.
How we doing? Looking good. Awesome. We'll give it a few seconds for the stream to catch up. All right, everybody. How's it going? It's another gloomy-ish, cloudy day in the city. I know I've become kind of like a local weatherman to a degree. Sorry, Story Hive. But I am excited to show you guys this awesome new place right here. As always, I am Gabby, the G in RNG in the 780. If we haven't, said it enough already, happy to be here. I think you guys will love this place. If we're lucky, we might even be able to have a host showdown between your best and most gracious host and Rekka. So if you guys will follow me inside, I'm going to take you inside Foam Fighters. Right this way. Okay, so many of you might be wondering what Foam Fighters is, and the best way I can describe it, and I've tried to describe it, is probably where I wish my childhood birthday parties were hosted. Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. No, I'm just kidding. But to describe it best, I thought, who better to have than the owner, Eugene Uhad. Thank you for joining us today,
Of course,
Eugene.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
Always awesome to see you. Eugene is such a pleasure. He is one of the best people I know. I know I say it a lot, but I genuinely mean it. Eugene, I describe this as every kid's dream place to be.
Yeah.
How would you professionally describe what Foam Fighters is?
If I were to sum it up, it's an easy place to have a birthday party, right? It's fun and it's easy for the parents. That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, definitely it started with sort of like a dream with my kids and everything. That's where it did start, kind of what you were explaining. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
kids were the inspiration. I kind of
Yeah.
felt that.
For sure.
So Eugene, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you come to making Foam Fighters happen?
Yeah. So, well, Foam Fighters itself, it started because I have two boys myself, and we were big into Nerf, so we used to have a lot of Nerf battles at home. And this one year, I threw a big party for my youngest one. So I spent the year collecting boxes, Nerf guns, and darts and everything like that. We rented out a gym, invited our friends and family, and killed it. Like, everybody had so much fun, laughing, adults were laughing, kids were laughing, and it sort of, in my head, I was like, hey, you know what, I think this might be a good business idea. So there's always been that sort of entrepreneurial part of me as well, too. But then when I did this, and so that's when I started doing the research into developing the business.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I know from doing our wonderful research that you were kind of in photography. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yes. So
Yeah.
how? I know that you said that the idea kind of came to you doing this, but
Yeah.
how did it go from this would be nice to have
Yeah.
into like, yeah, let's do it. Let's
For
get
sure.
a place going.
So a little bit about myself then,
Okay.
right? So my background, a lot of my life is spent as a photographer.
Mhm.
Went to Nate, did that course, and I started a commercial photography business, had a partner. I moved up to Vancouver. So I was really into it. I was in commercial photography, editorial photography, a lot of magazines. It was great. I even ended up teaching at Nate for a little bit.
Oh, nice.
And at King's University for a little bit. And then I ended up getting a job at a place called B&I. It's like a
Okay.
business networking place. But so I worked there for a little bit, but all the people coming through are entrepreneurs. A lot of them were business owners or things like that. And I've always wanted to own another type of business as well.
Okay.
So after I did this stuff with my kids, that's kind of when the spark started. And it was kind of like a 2-year journey before I even got it open.
Oh wow.
Right, it was a big journey of research, make sure it's even worth it, that kind of thing. And some things fell in place. I mean, I had to work for it. I had to get like a loan through ATB.
Oh, of
I had to
course.
create a business plan, all of that stuff. And a lot of convincing people that it's a legitimate business, right?
No, I
Yeah,
can
so it
only
was-
imagine like going into business. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Usually you want the super support and love of the community, but
Yeah.
sometimes you come up with an idea like this is a great idea.
But
Personally,
trying to prove it to people
yeah, but
is,
trying to convince them that like,
Yeah.
look, it is a business.
Yeah.
Look, it does make the money, but at the heart and its core, what's so interesting is that you have fun packed into it.
Yeah.
I imagine it must that must definitely help coming into work every day to see like the joy, the smiles on the faces, maybe the sadness on the faces when people lose.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
does that kind of help make the day-to-day running of the business better when you kind of see
100%,
that?
yeah. Like for me, I come from a customer service and sales background, so customer service was always number one, right? I always told myself, even if another Nerf place opened next door to us, what would be the difference, right? And customer service was the big thing, and customer experience. So with having like our own kids going to all these birthday parties, we kind of picked from different industries and said, this works and this doesn't work,
Okay.
right? So that was always the key, that I want people to come in excited, have fun, and leave happy.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's definitely accomplished.
Yeah.
I know that I have to say this, a little plug in here. Eugene is a fantastic host of certain events. I believe there was a charity event that you hosted where it was a kind of battle royale.
Oh yeah, that one. That was like
Yes.
forever ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a
Yeah,
hot minute.
yeah,
The
that was a fun
pandemic's
one.
not helping.
That was a good one.
But that was amazing in that it was for charity. At the end of the day, although we had tons of fun, the proceeds and profits all went towards local charity. What does it mean to you, especially, to kind of do those events where you're kind of helping out the community?
Oh, huge. It's a big thing for us. So yeah, we donate a lot of birthday packages and events and stuff to help raise money for different industries in the community. Even things like just kids hockey teams. We work a lot with Autism Edmonton, you know, adaptabilities. We work out with them. So we have special nights for them where, you know, it's kind of private for them to play, you know, give them a nice safe space to play. That's really important to us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So coming back to it, the name Foam Fighters, why that name?
You know what? It was one of those things I was struggling with a lot, right? Number one, I couldn't use a certain name brand name
of course,
in there, right?
Yeah,
so I had
let's not mention it.
yeah, I had to work around that a little bit, right?
Of course.
And so after knowing that I couldn't use that, I also didn't want it to sound like an army style company. So I
Yes.
did some searches, you know, online with other companies in the States. And the States, they have, like, a lot of their stuff, it always sounds a little confrontational, a little
yes,
bit, you
yeah.
know what I mean? So I was trying to find something a little more neutral. And so Foam Fighters, obviously, because we're using foam to fight with everything. And then when I got the logo created, I don't know, like, so I hired someone to do this, but this actually represents one of the darts. Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is actually one of the foam balls, and then the bottom part it would be like a trigger on one of the Nerf blasters.
Oh,
So
okay.
it really cool when they came up with the concept. It all really made sense, and yeah, I liked it. We were playing around with it a little bit because it was FF, and people were like, sounds like Foo Fighters and stuff like that, right?
Of course.
So, but yeah.
Were there any ideas that kind of floated around before you landed on it?
You know what? I have a whole list of them. I can't remember them anymore now. You know, like,
Well, this
yeah.
one is the best one.
Yeah,
and
that
it
was the
won,
best
so
one
that's
we
all that
landed on.
matters. I actually didn't notice that it was 1, 2, 3. That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
But we get a lot of calls though. People calling in thinking we're like, do we have like foam inserts for couches or like fire suppression? You know,
It's-
that kind of stuff.
It's
So,
always interesting in that
Yeah.
you try to name it. Like I would never think from the logo that is what you do, but
Yeah.
it's fascinating because Google is your friend, but also not your friend.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's like, sure, send them here because the word's in the name.
yeah.
All the time. I gotta say, I love the colors that you guys came up with. Are those the original brand colors of the kind of blue and yellow? in the
Yeah,
middle there?
I actually the colors I picked because I saw an Yves Saint Laurent ad, and it
Oh.
was a tennis ad they had, and I just like the color combinations they used, so I went with the similar colors.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Trying to think here. You have so many questions to ask, but then a part of me is like, I just want to get to the funnest, greatest part. But while researching you, I remembered that going through that you guys are the only facility in Edmonton that kind of has this Nerf arena. Is that
The
true?
all-in-one everything, yeah. So, because here we've got the Nerf, we've got the video games, we've got the target range, and then we also have a fully licensed restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's actually something that was very interesting. Is that you had Rebite Cafe? Is
That's
it?
right, yeah.
How did you come up with that name?
You know what? Again, names are so hard. You know, for us, Rebite was like we wanted people to come back to Rebite. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
it
of
was just
course.
one of those things, right? So.
No, perfect. And yeah, you were the only kind of like shooting range or target range arena that had your own kind of restaurant in house.
Yeah.
What was-
And that was because we wanted that whole full experience,
okay.
right? Because a lot of places, you know, you've got to order food from outside. So you're as a parent when you're planning parties, you're calling different places.
Of course.
So our goal was they come in, they say, hey, we just want to have the party, the food, everything, and then we could do it all here.
Oh, wonderful. No, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm always intrigued by the adaptability and the creativity to do so.
Yeah.
Now, recently, or maybe not recently, maybe because I haven't been here in a hot minute,
Yeah.
you also had a games room kind of added to your space. Can you explain the thinking behind that and what that has kind of done or not done?
Yeah, so as a kid and me, obviously I love video games. I still play a lot of video games.
Of course.
League of Legends,
Yeah. There it is. Plug it in. Plug it in. Your tag. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so we created this video game room
Mhm.
as either an add-on to the parties or just something you could book on your own. And I could fit up to 20 people playing at the same time in there. I actually had 30, but it's too much.
Yeah,
So,
it's just a bit too much.
yeah.
Perfect. And then clientele-wise, I know that on the site there's always the various different birthday kind of packages.
Yeah.
Who do you cater to?
You know what? I would say the majority of the people that come through are kids, boys, girls, 7 to 10 years old. That's kind of like the main age there. We get a little bit, sort of the older ones, like the 11 to 14. We do have faster. I'll show you once I give you a tour.
Oh, yes.
We have different blasters that are faster and everything like that.
You heard it here first. We're getting a tour. Nice.
Yeah.
And then on top of catering to kids sometimes, you also host events for not kids.
Yeah.
How often do those kind of happen? Are those a regular thing?
Yeah,
Or are they kind
you know what? It's funny you say that because we do have a regular group now that comes in once a week.
Okay.
All adults.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with something I haven't talked about to you yet, but I'll show you kind of what they do, the evolution of where foam blasting is going. Like it's skyrocketed the whole industry. It's pretty cool. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I noticed that you, and I imagine this group must apply to this rule, that you say that you allow your own Nerf guns to be brought in.
Yeah.
But there was a very specific technicality that I couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
Is that they had to be elite blasters instead of there's a particular kind?
Yeah, so elite is just the type of darts.
Okay.
What it is, like for example, that blaster at the top there, they'll shoot elite darts.
Okay.
So it's just a certain size. So if they're bringing their own in,
Mhm.
as long as it uses that size dart.
Okay.
That's really all it is.
And that's more for safety, or is it because?
Well, it's just because that's the ammo that I carry.
Yeah.
So if they come with some other ones, I just might not have anything for them to shoot.
Perfect. No, that of course makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Trying to think again. I'm just so excited to get in there and kind of take a quick tour of the place. Just excited for it.
Yeah.
But I know that I have to, of course, ask this question. When we had the awful, not so great pandemic take place, I noticed that one of the ways that you kind of adapted, and I'm sure you had to kind of close up shop because obviously having people inside wasn't possible. One of the things that I really admired was that you were selling face masks at the time, and I think we stopped by and picked up some of my favorite face masks ever from Eugene. Can you tell me how that kind of has impacted and changed things?
Oh,
and how,
for sure.
Things have shifted from then?
It's been crazy. So just with the pandemic happening, I mean, our whole business is based on group gatherings. That's our business, is group gatherings, right? So out of the 24 months when it was sort of the meat of the pandemic and everything was closed, we were probably closed for about 16 of those months out of the 24, right? So obviously we had to pivot. My wife, who's not on camera, but we knew like masks were going to be a big thing, right? And she's super handy. And so she said, I'll start making masks. I'll start selling those. But we were doing it more just as for our friends and family.
Of course.
And then people started calling us to see, do we sell masks, right? So I started posting it online, and we got huge orders for those things. And so that helped a lot. I mean, it had really nothing to do with the business, but we had to do something to keep the doors open, right?
No, 100%.
So that was a big thing, was the masks. And because we still have the restaurant part, we were doing more takeout.
Oh, wow.
Curbside pickup, that kind of thing. That helped a little bit as well. And then we also started doing these cook at home boxes.
Oh, wow.
So we put together these boxes for kids, all the ingredients in there already. And then me and my wife made YouTube videos.
Oh, perfect.
And that was a bit of a challenge, but because she doesn't like being in front of the camera either, but she had to. So we made these videos, and then people would buy these boxes with the instructions on how to make food and stuff. And so we were doing that for a little bit too.
Oh, wow.
Right, got some orders for those things. So
Perfect. Are you since then, I feel like this is an odd thing to say because we're in this like post-pandemic. I hope we don't lock down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That indeed. Has that kind of continued, or have you kind of maybe stopped the YouTube videos or stopped?
Yeah, we've gone straight back to our parties. Like it's been 2 or 3 years since kids have had parties, so everybody's itching right now. So I would say probably about starting mid-January, we went back up to I would call it normal numbers for parties. So yeah, it's really, really busy now.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to hear that. I know as we were like kind of researching businesses and trying to always find some, that's one of the biggest things that is always frightful is that you kind of contact them, and then unfortunately some were like, we had to close because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it was for us for the pandemic. Like every month, I didn't know what was going to happen, and it was. I mean, the wage subsidies helped. The rent subsidies. Our landlord was really great and understanding during the time. That helped a lot. But every month, man, like I didn't know. On paper, I probably should have closed down. Technically, right? To me, it would almost be the smart move. But in my head, I was like, and in my heart, I'm like, I just got to stick it out a little bit longer.
No, of course.
And I know when we open again, we'll be busy again, right? But the hard part was knowing when we were going to open again. So I knew that if we could stay open or make it through, we'd be okay. But I just didn't know when that day was going to come. So that was really hard. So
No, and I can imagine that like, you know, doing this dream thing, like you talked to me about how this was so important and you had this kind of whole vision with your children and they were the inspiration behind Foam Fighters. So I imagine like, you know, coming down to the idea of like, should I close down or do I just keep kicking?
Oh man, it was
must have been
every day. And I don't know, it's just we only opened in September 2018.
Okay.
So we just started.
Yeah, no.
Right? And I had to get a loan to get this place started.
Totally.
Right? So I didn't wanna close down. I don't know, I think it was a mixture of being stubborn as well too, and just I'm glad we stuck through it, but there were some days, man, it was hard. Yeah.
Of course. No, I'm so glad that you stuck through it. I'm so glad this place is here and kicking because I love this place. Yeah. I know that the many times I came through here, it was just so much fun. And seeing the changes that you apply, I'm always very astonished and kind of appreciate when local businesses are kind of adapting. And I feel like you were adapting to you know, your clientele's needs long before the pandemic. Yeah, right. And then anytime you'd like check off, I know that like you even as I was coming in, were updating me letting me know that like you guys now serve alcohol and you have a liquor license to do so. Was that an adaptation that you like?
Well, it was sort of something we always had in mind since we opened, but because we get a lot of parents that just hang out here.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
So. And I like using local beer as well. You know, it was sort of like a community thing to promote as well. So
perfect. Who are the kind of local breweries you're working with?
Right now we're using Town Square Brewing.
Okay.
But we've also used who else have we used? Sea Change was pretty big for us as well too. So.
Perfect. Yeah. No, and it's interesting that you saw that like parents were here, and sometimes we really neglect the parents and thinking about them.
Oh no, that was always number
like
1 and 2 with us. You know
yeah, because I guess in a way like. The kids are your clientele, but the money is the parents.
The kids aren't booking.
Yeah, that's right. It's the parents that are like,
yeah,
I want to be here. And like having that probably definitely helped them keep them here
100%.
and maybe appease them from organizing all of this.
Exactly.
How involved are you guys kind of in the organization process? I know that you guys have various packages online. What do you walk through? What do you not walk through? How is the hosting end of it like for you?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So I mean, for us, you know, it's parents come in, they check in. We walk them to their party room. We let them know what time the party starts. One of our staff gets them at that time, brings the kids into the arena, and then our staff hosts the party for that full hour that they're playing.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
So the only time that we're really not with the kids is just when they're eating pizza and cake.
Oh,
but other than that, we're always like making sure everybody's having a good time. So.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Without further ado, I feel like I wanted to ask more things, but I'm just so drawn towards going to explore the place, towards seeing kind of what you've done because I haven't been here in a hot minute and kind of just showcasing it. So Are you okay with taking the
Yeah,
tour?
100%. Yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to just kind of walk you through
Yes,
what
of
we have?
course. So-
Okay, so obviously we've been sitting here at the front desk, which is where everybody comes and registers first before the game starts. We always check waiver forms and all that kind of stuff, right?
And how important are those waiver forms for you guys?
Really important, but it's more to showcase that, hey, you know what, they are going to be running around. It's very safe.
Yes.
And but it's just to let parents know, hey, you know, make sure you're wearing runners and not sandals and that kind of stuff. Right?
Okay,
So
perfect.
letting them be aware of that. I don't know if you want. So I know we were kind of talking about those, but that's sort of my collection. That's a very, very, very small part of my Nerf collection, right? So there's a couple things that they don't sell anymore. I found online and.
Yeah, I have to say, I think I remember seeing this. This is the one that kind of detaches, and there's
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 different
That's right.
things in there.
But
That's-
yeah, aside from my kids,
Mhm.
like I'm a massive Nerf collector.
Ah.
More than my kids now. They've outgrown it. I'm still in it.
Okay. No, I mean like the joy and the fun is always kind of there, and I'm always happy to see that, like, you know, at least it began with the kids, but like you always had the joy
Yeah.
for it. So
Yeah.
and it shows. So this is your personal collection.
That's all. Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I've got Tupperwares full.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I got tons. All right, so over here's the restaurant. So we have a full kitchen in there, and so we do burgers, pizza, poutine. Now here's one thing. I always like to boast about our poutine. Like I know there's a lot of people that are very, very specific about their poutine, and so whenever people come up from out east, Quebec or Montreal, they like our poutine. I always ask them, "Where are you from? Are you from one of those places, Quebec or?"
And then
Oh,
they
Montreal? Yeah.
and they're just excited.
Well, some of
like-
them are very specific, right?
Okay.
But I always ask them, "How was the poutine?" Good, because ours is more of it's a lighter gravy as opposed to the darker gravy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I talk about this because
No,
I always ask. I always ask.
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's the joy. You take joy
Yeah.
in the things that you do and
Yeah.
craft and like.
I
of
always
course-
ask people if they like the poutine. Right?
Okay, so if I come here, I'm here to order. The poutine is the go-to.
That's a big thing for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next kind of go-to?
Our burgers for sure. So everything's hand pressed.
Oh, nice.
You know, we make them. You know, when they order and stuff like that. Our biggest probably one is either the bacon cheeseburger or the rebite burger. Rebite burger is something my wife created. This is all her domain, so I'm talking about it.
Oh,
But
of
I don't.
course.
She doesn't even want me in the kitchen.
Yes, we
Yeah.
couldn't get her on camera, as Eugene mentioned. She is not
She's-
too
yeah.
prone to it.
So I'm talking. So if I'm making mistakes or anything, that's because she's
She'll catch it. She'll
Yeah.
catch it in the stream for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't get you in trouble because
Yeah.
so far, from the sounds of it, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm already kind of hungry for it. I know that typically we would order had this place been open, but Eugene was thankful and kind enough to kind of have us here on the days that he's closed. That way we don't have too many kids running around,
Yeah.
and the audio can come out clean and neat.
One more thing too.
Oh.
So the donair meat. I want to talk.
There it is. Shoot it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Plug it in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the donair meat's all handmade as well.
Oh wow.
So my wife makes all the donair. It's not bought on those big spits,
Okay.
right? So she hand makes it. And another thing, so we had a little competition at our house once.
Okay.
So she used to work at another place, and it was all East Coast, like Newfoundland and all
Yes.
those guys, and they live and die by their donair.
Yes, they do.
So we had a blind. We had one guy from Newfoundland cook and my wife cook, and she won.
Oh,
so-
okay. Because like you're very correct. I think they have the King of Donair. If you actually research this with Donair, the first case of Donair is coming to Canada. They came to shops in Newfoundland and then kind of expanded to Alberta. I think it missed Toronto or
Maybe, yeah.
Ontario in a bizarre way.
Yeah.
But that's like the OG original spot. So that's a
Yeah.
huge accolade to kind of give. And shout out to Eugene for, upping up his wife there. So bonus
Yeah.
points there. So I'm sure if you didn't get any of this right, that definitely helped.
So if you ever want to try it out, we have a donair poutine. Try it all together.
And is that only available if the wife is here? Or
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
have you
everybody
tried
else
your
except
hand?
me. Yeah.
Okay. So
Her and all the other employees can cook it. I still have to look at all of
the ingredients and everything.
Yeah.
And you think if you had to compete toe to toe with your wife?
Oh, I'd lose like 100%. Yeah.
Smart man,
Yeah,
this guy.
100%,
Yeah. Perfect. That's awesome. And then of course I see the local kind of.
Oh yeah, so Town Square Brewing. I've got Air Tractor, I believe it's on tap right now. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I see that you can buy kind of Nerf blasters as well? Is that
Yeah.
true?
Oh, I had some on here. I
Okay.
had some used. I'll show you some in the back later. But my wife also made these.
Oh.
So these are ammo packs. We've got like a Nerf blaster in there now. But
Oh.
again, yeah, this is stuff that we were making during the pandemic too, to try to sell and
No,
whatever we could.
I'm always impressed. The adaptability is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like super inspiring to see. And then of course,
And then some
yes,
of
the masks.
But that's really all we have left. We had boxes of them, and
Mm-hmm.
people still buy them, right? So
But I imagine kind of with restrictions lifting off, that demand's probably shifted.
yeah.
Of course.
for sure. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
So which way you want me to take you next?
let's go to the
This way?
kind of latest and newest, just so I
Yeah.
see what.
So a lot of this stuff too is pop culture based in here.
Okay.
So if you guys ever come in, if you look around, I don't know if you want to look. Like, there's one thing that a lot of people don't know what that is. It's the two yellow and the black there.
Oh.
I won't say what it is. You guys have to figure it out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Can I take a guess?
You can take a guess.
I have no idea. I just literally was like,
Yeah.
mhm,
And I'm
mhm.
not gonna say what it is. You
that's-
guys have to
this,
come and look.
this feels like when I go to like an art museum and I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I really feel.
But when I
it.
tell you what it is, it would make sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I won't tell any of you guys out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
But yeah, so I love pop culture art and stuff
Okay.
like that. This is Goonies, and this artist from Calgary there as well too. Firefly. So I'm really into all of this. Is stuff that I really enjoy myself too.
Okay.
Right? But I find when people come in, they'll see it. Usually, like the adults and stuff, they can
Mhm.
kind of relate. And then behind you, as these are all Overwatch characters from. I used to play a lot of Overwatch. You don't play as much.
Yes.
There's a new one coming out, but
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
It's great. But I imagine also that the news with these guys probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it. It's kind of a hurting double-edged sword.
Yeah.
To support them still.
yeah.
Awesome.
And then some Star Wars stuff here.
These are okay. I like it.
Like it,
That's
yeah.
very awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then over here, this is our portal wall. So this is actually supposed to be where the exit is, right? So you go up, so portal exit.
Okay. I
Yeah.
like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
And then a good friend of mine painted all this herself. Well, too.
Awesome. Do you want to shout her out? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Tracy.
Yeah, there you go.
She
There
did
you
all
go.
our paintings on the wall. and
Let's
stuff,
give
so.
some love as
Yeah,
much as
of
possible.
course.
Okay, so you come in. I see red room, blue room, and this is where you kind of split teams, or
Yeah. Oh, this is actually where the parties happen. So
Okay.
these are the different rooms. After they're done playing, they'll go into these rooms for their pizza and pop.
oh, awesome.
Right?
Okay.
So it's 2 rooms, or I have a big divider to open it up to one big room.
oh yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. That's okay. And
Yeah.
then it becomes the what is red and blue? Purple room.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember my
Yeah.
art
Those are-
here.
should
I was
totally
like,
do
oh,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so funny. I should totally do
Perfect. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then these usually, do you find do you have to book ASAP?
that. Oh, we book like a month and a half out.
Month and a half.
Yeah, like
Oh,
our weekends
that's-
are sold out. So.
Oh wow! So if you're thinking about it, pick up the phone, hit them up because it sounds like
Yeah, it's crazy busy.
busy
so.
time. That's.
I just want to show you one more thing too.
Of course.
Over here. So this is our locker. This is just if it gets busy, people store things in here.
Of course, Doctor
But
Who.
it's Doctor Who police box. So.
Is it
Yeah.
so? Question for you, and I have to ask it only because I'm a nerd. Is it big on the inside?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! At least I got that.
Very-
To all you Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
No, I love the pop culture feel is
Yeah.
actually amazing. I like the portal.
Well, it's funny because like when I'm looking at it now, like this, I don't watch as much Doctor Who now, but
Mhm.
actually there's a new Doctor Who
Oh.
coming. I don't know if you guys ever, look it up. But I'm excited about this new one.
Oh.
But this represents different parts of my life of things that I was into.
Okay.
I don't watch as much Doctor Who now, but maybe I'll get back into it again. But
No, of course. And is the pop culture kind of like the unifying theme? I know like you could have gone so many different routes, but I appreciate that you
Yeah.
went this route because I love all these things. There's nothing you haven't
yeah,
shown me.
it is. But I mean, for me, like this is just stuff I grew up with, and coming here reminds me of that stuff, and I'm hoping it'll remind some of the kids. Or I mean, the kids now, they don't know any of this.
Oh no, of course, yeah. Then
It's usually the parents that do.
that always helps make
Yeah.
you feel ever so young
Yeah.
and wonderful when kids are like, "What is this?" And you're like, "Oh, geez."
Yeah.
But it's a good learning opportunity to be like, "Well, it's this, and this is what we do, and
Yeah.
this is what we used to love." So
Yeah.
hopefully, they love it too.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, so here's the
All
part
right.
I'm excited the most about.
So
the
welcome
Gamers
to
Lounge.
the Gamers Lounge. I don't know if you want to show this to Buffy the Vampire
Oh,
Slayer.
that's very nice. That's very
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, Gamers Lounge. So this is even now I play a lot of video games. So sometimes if you can't find me, I'll be in here.
Ah, is this where you come to hide when you're not at the front desk?
Yeah,
as well?
exactly.
Okay, perfect.
So come on in. I'll let you guys come all the way in if you want. Yeah, there you go.
Tell me if the lighting kind of. Whoop. Oh wow. Yeah, I have to say that's awesome. So it's multiple TV screens.
Yeah, so we got 4 gaming computers, Xbox, PS4, Nintendo Switch. Basically, that's what we have in here.
Okay.
So.
And this room, it can be kind of, is it rented out like separately? Like you have this part and this part? Is it the entire room you have to
The
book?
entire room, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
some people add this onto their parties,
Mhm.
or this becomes a standalone party. Sometimes they just have a video game party.
Ah, okay.
So they can play in here for an hour and then go eat afterwards.
Is it kind of, because I imagine it would break my heart to come in here, like this is awesome, but to come in here and not try out the Nerf Arena, I'm like, how could you? Because
You know
that's
what?
such a...
Yeah, and okay, so here's the thing. It's like sometimes that does happen, and a lot of it is because we're so booked over there
Ah, okay.
that sometimes we're like, hey, my kid still wants to have a party, and I'll just say, well, this is all we have left. Right? But a lot of the parties now, they'll do Nerf, eat, and then video games. We'll do all
okay.
3. Yeah.
No, perfect. Yeah, and then like I just remember like when I came here, you had this setup kind of going, but this I feel is newer. Yes.
It's sort of
right?
revamped a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like I've changed the setup a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been here, just not as prominent, I guess.
So then to answer the age-old question,
Yeah.
which gets booked more, console or PC?
You know what? Okay, here's the thing. It's like kids want to play on the PC more
Oh, okay.
because they watch it on YouTube all the time.
Of course.
But I'd say like 80% of them don't know how to.
Oh.
You know, but
okay.
they want to because they've seen it. But most of them are. It's a lot easier on the Xbox.
No, of course. And do you think that this would be a great place to kind of hone up your skills if you don't have your own rig?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever host gaming tournaments?
That's been on my list of things to do forever.
Okay.
Right? I don't have the time to organize it myself. I need to find someone to help me do that or something. But I do definitely want to do that.
Yeah, because I know that the Nerf tournaments are a big part.
Yeah.
And I see those often. So I was just wondering if it was. And I mean, like you can always, I guess, book this
Yeah.
and host your own tournaments in a way.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some of these ideas.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here. You know, half and half.
That's why I like meeting people because they always come up with something new all the time. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
All right. So we'll
So
head
this
over.
this is the room that I've always kind of wanted to
We'll head to the
showcase you
okay.
guys. I'm so excited about.
Thank you. You too.
Right this way, as you guys can see.
Oh.
Love the layout of this. I'm always intrigued by it.
I just want to point out one sort of point of contention, right? Because my friend Tracy that did all the paintings, we were very specific about this wall too, right? Like I want people to know where everything is.
Okay.
Right? But nobody could find the bathroom. So, and I don't know what else to do, right? So, because I've got this bathroom arrow, and then I put a bathroom sign there, like everything, right? And I
Have
just
you
don't-
ever thought of a giant yellow outline and perhaps neon sign? Because
Yeah.
that might be.
I don't know. Like, I was gonna start putting them on the floor. I don't know what else to do. Anyway, so everyone's always like, "Where's the bathroom?" We're like,
Well,
Yeah.
after this, you guys will know that the bathrooms are this way.
Same.
That's
But-
why we're here.
but it's also, I guess, because it says arena in the bathroom, so
So it's like the.
you don't know actually what's behind this door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
All
stoked. I'm stoked. This is my favorite part.
All right.
This. Yes. Oh wow.
There you go.
Come on in, guys. Come on in. So this is the ready room, hey?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Come on
Look
in.
at
I'll
all
close this
of
behind
this.
here.
That's insane. So all of these are kind of up for grabs. Are there any that are like restricted, or you can't kind of, or is it like based on the tournament style that they play? or
Yeah,
can
for
they-
sure. So I've got like behind me. These are those elite ones I was talking about. So these
Okay.
all shoot the same type of ammo,
Okay.
and I've got down here.
Ah, of course.
So they all shoot these,
Okay.
right? It's like a regular Nerf dart. That's what these shoot. And then behind you,
Oh.
those are the Nerf rivals.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have any there. But they shoot a foam ball.
So they're typically.
They fit into there. Let me grab one really quick.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Wow. This is I'm actually so impressed. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, there you go. So it just shoots these.
okay.
They're a squishy foam ball.
Right. So yeah, if you guys remember, that's the dart, and this is the
Ball.
ball, and then the trigger. That's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
interesting. And they go into these kind of.
They're all different. So
Okay.
here's the thing: is like, so I'd say for majority of the kids that come in, we use those blasters because they'll
Okay.
shoot the darts, and those are good for like honestly, I've seen kids age 3, 4, and up use them,
Okay.
right? And then behind you, these ones are the Nerve Rivals. I usually suggest them for kids 9, 10, and up kind of thing. The balls are a little faster, and all these blasters are a little harder to pull back,
Okay.
right? So I kind of suggest these for the older kids.
I think these are the ones that we used.
Yeah, you guys are the older kids
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. So I would have.
Where
yeah.
we won our silver, not the gold. But
Yeah.
we'll take it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then couldn't help but notice that you have also red and blue. Is this to separate teams and who
Yeah.
does what?
So again, remember I was talking to my wife? She sewed all of these. Yeah. It took about it took about like 2 months.
Really?
Yeah. So these are all hand sewed.
Okay.
You know, we sourced all the material, every single thing on here, and then we were at home before we opened the business, and she just sewed all of it. I mean, I helped with like holding things or whatever.
Of
else you
course,
say.
yes. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's always interesting. We had kind of done some businesses prior to this, and it's always like that family aspect of it definitely helps because so many of them thank their wives,
Yeah.
significant others, kind of like for the help. It's always
100%.
nice to see like this is exactly what this is all about. Is to
Yeah.
kind of see that like homegrown, like in Edmonton,
Yeah.
kind of and like my God,
I know, it's crazy. It is. I think if we were to do it again, she probably wouldn't make it as elaborate because I had all these ideas when I was getting her to make it. I had these things were supposed to hold ammo clips and all this kind of stuff, and they never get used.
Oh.
Right? They just never get used. So I mean, if we were to do it over again, we'd probably simplify it a bit.
And make it okay.
Yeah,
No, I mean, like, I just even love the ideas. Like I said, the adaptability of you guys always trying to add to make the experience so much
Yeah.
better. So couldn't help but notice the big sign there that this is the shop.
Oh
Can you-
sure.
Yeah.
You guys want to take a look?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look.
Ah.
All right, come on in. So over here, this is sort of our table where we fix some of the blasters that that need repair. Over there, some of this stuff here is kind of a mess, but some of it's my personal stuff. I'm gonna go back and show you something.
Okay.
Stations. We got new blasters over there.
Nice.
Batteries.
And like, I know that this is probably a difficult point to ask you, but how often are you updating and getting new blasters
All the time.
for the shop? And then how often is it for you?
Oh, that's the worst part. Honestly, like.
It's one and the same, isn't it? Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw any of those up when you were
Oh,
up there,
okay.
but I've got
I
like,
see. Yeah.
I've got like Overwatch one there.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of new blasters in boxes that aren't even open. A bunch of Halo series.
Wow, these are.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it's been a. Oh man, and
that's been a really hard part for me is not to buy for myself.
I have to say,
Yeah.
looking at the numbers and the prices that you have on these, like I assume they're for sale. Yes?
Yeah, those are. Yeah.
That you aren't doing them at like scalper prices.
No.
That would be like you're. That definitely helps and tells me that you're just a huge fan and want people to have
Yeah, those
access.
are just like retail that you buy wherever.
That's
Yeah.
insane. I'm guessing that guy does not go home with anybody.
No, it's not even open.
That's the prize piece. I love
Yeah.
it.
Can I show you one
Yes.
thing though?
You can show me anything you like.
Let's see here. So, if you want to look just up here on the shelf over there.
Just pause
Yeah.
really quick.
Yeah.
We're just having a little connection error for now, but
Yeah.
our third crew is gonna go grab the MiFi really quick.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll just
Is it-
pause for a sec.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm gonna grab something.
Sure.
Yeah. But you guys are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. One sec. I will pause this. No, I'm not gonna pause the stream. It's a connection error.
Is it still kind of going or not streaming?
It's like trying. Here we go. Much better. Thank you. I might actually just unplug it. Yeah. Thanks. Oh yeah, much better.
Okay, we're.
So you want to just mention to them?
Yes. So sorry, folks at home. We just had a bit of connection issues. I guess because this place is very enclosed off. We're still trying to fight to stream live. So if you had a bit of choppiness there, or apologies. We're gonna come back. In the meantime, if you are coming back to it, Eugene is excited to show me some things and went to the background to grab a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to see what it is I'm going to be shown here. Oh, perfect timing.
Oh, is it ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
we're
right.
good now.
You're running around. So.
Oh.
Okay, so let me just pull out a couple things here. That one, this one, and this one. Okay, so those were the Nerf Elite darts we were talking about there.
Okay.
Regular darts there.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you.
These were the Nerf Rivals.
Ah.
Right, squishy ball.
Okay.
And the next part I was talking about these. So these are called short darts.
Ah.
Okay. So these probably shoot like anywhere from, let's call it 50 to 70 feet per second.
Okay.
Okay, depending. Out of the box, these shoot anywhere from 70 to 100 feet per second.
Okay.
Okay. These ones are shooting probably over 130 to up to 300 feet per second now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, a company called Adventure Force.
Okay.
These are their blasters,
Oh wow.
right? So the magazines are a bit smaller,
Okay.
right? So this is sort of the consumer brand, right? Now the league or the adults that come in, this is 3D printed.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
this
Yeah,
is
I can just
crazy.
see the.
Yeah.
That's.
So this is actually 3D printed,
Okay.
and these are parts that were actually put on a previous Nerf blaster. So they, there's some metal inside as well too. So it comes in parts, but this guy I know, Jared, shout out to Jared, but he 3D printed this for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
And-
even realize like what's so insane is when you brought them both in.
Yeah.
I just thought they were both commercial until I
Yeah.
kind of came in close to see that kind of 3D prints.
Yeah.
effect.
So this is awesome. So yeah, it uses those short darts, right? And again, so something like this might shoot over maybe 120 feet per second.
Wow.
Something like that, right? So it's pretty fast. Definitely want to wear lots of safety gear for this.
Okay, and these are typically more adult. You won't find kids kind of.
100%, yeah, because you can't buy these
Okay.
retail. You have to make them yourself, essentially. right?
That's
So-
nuts.
yeah. So that's sort of elevated the game a little bit.
Okay.
It's still not as like painful as paintball
No.
or airsoft, but oh man, it's fun as an adult because you could feel that now. You know,
okay.
yeah. So it's pretty good. But I wanted to show you.
No, thank you for doing so. That's actually, like I said, it's so interesting what you'll adapt, change, and keep, the dream alive. That's
Yeah.
always
Well,
the
I'm
best.
part of a Nerf group.
Okay.
It's like a Facebook group that was started, and
Mhm.
it's YEG Super Stock Nerf.
Oh, okay.
And
Shout out to them.
yeah, but yeah, those guys are amazing. I go there just to participate, but those guys are all like engineers, 3D printers. They do all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, just a heads up to you wonderful folks at home. If you guys have spotted a third member here today, we just have our wonderful team member Harvey doing some BTS photography. He's agreed to be kind enough to volunteer and show up, and he was excited to come here because it's Foam Fighters, of course. So there's another place that I always love to go and be at, and I think you told me one time when we were here that it's kind of like the waiting room as we're waiting to kind of get into here.
Yeah.
And that's the shooting range.
Oh yeah, I'll show you that.
Yeah, sweet.
Let's go. We'll go
This
this
way?
way.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go this way here. Maybe can I just show you this quickly before we go into everything? Yeah. So again, I'm gonna just point you to the wall here. This is my collection of collector's Nerf, and again, I still have Tupperwares full of this. But this is this starts from like 1993, 1994.
Oh, wow.
And then it just goes up chronologically up to the year 2000. The last one's from the year 2000. But I have more of these. My goal when I opened was to fill this wall with all the collectors. I was going to put labels. And it's one of those
That's
things that were on the list that
insane.
I just never got to get to.
Yeah, I never took it as like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's.
But
I'm
yeah,
always fascinated. This place is just
Yeah.
such a treat and a treasure.
Yeah.
So what do we have here?
Oh yeah, so target range. Come on in. I'll show you this. I even set you up if you want to try it out.
Ooh.
But so this is another big thing for me when I was creating this. Was I always like shooting targets with my Nerf blasters, and I wanted something that was sort of gave you a little bit of feedback. So I did a lot of research. I found these customize them for myself.
Oh wow.
And so the way it works, there's a bucket of darts for you there.
Okay.
I can help. I can do it as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our golden blasters here. Just load up the darts in the front there. And it's not as easy as it looks, for sure. But all you do is shoot the targets. They're electronic, and they'll just pop back up again.
So can I ask about how like this piece came to be?
Well, this to me, like, as
Did you guys build this by like?
yeah, we built this ourselves.
What?
Yeah, so, you know, I made the design, got some graphics, and then I literally physically built all the supports and everything back there,
Wow.
and then mounted all the targets on the back as well too.
That's so impressive.
Yeah.
So question then for you.
Yeah.
What's the high score here?
You know what? This one you don't really keep score. It's just you just hit for fun.
Okay.
But when I do have corporate events, I do have a scoreboard underneath there.
Oh wow.
And we split them up with the teams, and then we keep track of score.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's shoot off a few. I don't
yeah.
know if I'll just show you what it's like. You pull those back. Okay, I said it wasn't that easy, but I hit the first
And he
one.
hits a bullseye
Yeah,
immediately. Yeah.
It really. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you're right. Just a little.
Like it looks like you're close enough. But darts themselves are not super accurate.
I gotta hit one. That's two in the chamber.
That was close. It was really close.
That's the one.
there you go.
Hey, there it is. That's right. That actually felt awesome. So it's
Yeah.
a bucket of darts, and it's fire until the bucket's kind of empty.
Yeah,
and then-
so I like to use this room as a place where, like, if the kids are waiting before the game starts, you know, you get the party in here, they just fire away and then get called up for the game. So.
Okay, no, that's amazing. Now, what is the process of, I assume, picking up this kind of like? Is it?
Literally just going in with a broom and a dustpan, or just picking up by hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just was wondering, like, if it's like the golf collectors or something.
Yeah,
or is it-
yeah, not for this one, but once we get to the arena, I'll show you some
Perfect.
things that we've done. Yeah.
I am going to load this up and have my awesome co-host try to hit. The goal and number for you to beat is 1. So let's see if you're able to do so.
All right,
And-
I can hear from the tone of your voice that you're really out here trying to like intimidate me a little
This
bit.
is for
Can
you.
you get one?
Yeah, if even.
All right.
So I'll
all
step
right,
out so
all
it's
right.
not cheating.
Okay, wait. How do I do this again? I gotta
So
just
yeah,
pull.
and then shoot every time.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't at me, Gabby.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, dude.
Oh. Don't look at it.
No.
It's 3 in the chamber left. Oh, one more. Oh.
Lucky last one.
Last one. Come on. You can do it. Oh.
I don't know who I am
That's
anymore.
right.
But
I have to give praises where praises are due, I guess. Well done.
you know who it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
There it is. Okay, I'm never gonna not hear about this anymore.
Yeah,
But
it's good timing.
It's fantastic. Yes, get back to
Get
that.
back to work.
That's right. So I'm just wondering if you can possibly run us through a quick one-on-one here.
Yeah.
And what typically kind of like how are the rules when they have these events? I know the one that we had played, it was like you had 3 lives, you had to touch a wall.
Oh, yeah.
To come back, and then at the end of the 3, you were out.
Yeah, so like what we do is depends on who's playing.
Mhm.
So whoever the age of the kids or adults will come up with different games.
Okay.
Really. So we do things like capture the flag, doctor, that kind of stuff. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Would you be okay to have Rekha and I do
Yeah.
a quick, as quick as possible, so we're not taking up too much
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
time?
for sure.
Event, is that okay?
So yeah, how do you want me to do this? Show you the setup? Or
Yes.
How do you want
Run us through like, I am here for the first time.
Yeah.
I am a kid that's just joined here.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
We'll have our awesome Harvey kind of take it from here.
So should I actually? I'll set you guys up as
Yes.
if we're playing. Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
let's do it.
All right, come on in.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So what I normally do is I'll ask the birthday person. What color do you want?
It's actually
Blue.
my birthday today.
Is
It is my
No,
birthday.
yeah.
It's
Happy
my birthday. I
So,
want red.
there you
Red.
go.
Okay.
Oh.
So this is what I would
You
do.
knew I was gonna pick red. You know,
Yeah. I'll give
Gabby
you
and
a
I
vest.
love the color red.
That on there,
Thank you.
and then blue, obviously, right? So you're gonna put on blue. There you go.
Nice.
And then so we're gonna use. What do you guys want to use? The darts or the balls?
Ooh, darts would be cool. Or wait, what hurts more?
The balls.
Balls.
Yeah.
So the balls it is.
Yeah. All right. So number one thing for us is safety. So even though it's just the foam balls, you still need safety on your eyes.
Of course.
So the glasses are actually perfectly fine.
Awesome.
Right? For you, we'll just get you a pair of safety glasses. Try those on there. Okay. Good?
Here
All
we
right.
are.
And so I don't have a list on here, but I go over the rules. So number one is when we're in the arena, always keep your glasses on. If you need to take them off, just come over here. No pushing or shoving. I always have to
That's
say
right,
that.
Rekha.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
No physical because it's hard to ref some of that stuff.
Of course.
Totally.
We have obstacles in there, so there's no climbing them.
Okay.
Except 2 sniper towers that we have that you
Okay.
can climb. Okay. And just be honest. That's all it is, really.
Okay.
I mean, it's not paintball, it's not laser tag or anything, so we can't 100% tell.
Yeah, Gabby.
Yeah. So we don't like spending our time going, okay, you hit him, you just get hit and you move on.
Okay.
Kind of thing,
Perfect.
right? So what I'll do is I'm going to set you up with our most reliable Nerf blasters here. I'll just show you how this works. Let me grab some ammo first. I'll be right back. 1 second.
No worries.
This one's so cool.
I'm excited. I need to redeem myself because that was just
This
the
one's
most
so cool looking.
unfair. Yeah, it looks like a.
It looks like a sheriff.
Yeah, that's also from Overwatch.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I like it.
So this one here, use the Nerf ball or the balls there. All you do is pull this back. I'll just show you, but you could put 6 in at a time. You put 1 in, pull it forward, and then fire. Okay? That's it. So I'll bring this over here. This will be the ammo. I'm going to give you that one there.
Okay.
I'll give you this one here.
Thank you.
Okay? So let's go into the arena.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh wow. This place is wow. Okay. More questions here, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You guys custom built each of these kind of barriers and everything that you have here, like all these obstacles that you were talking about?
Yeah, so when we first moved in, I hired someone to help me build these.
Okay.
So we've just built these here. And then during the pandemic, me and my staff just built some extra walls as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we just had time to revamp it on wheels so we can move the wheels or the walls around and stuff.
Oh, I was gonna say that must be that,
Who does,
and then the
the
artwork and yeah.
Same with I pull up the graphics and then I send it off to get printed and everything.
Nice.
Wow. And then of course I have to ask about the awesome artwork back here. Like how is
Yeah, for sure. So again, this is my friend Tracy Aguilar from Tag, but she did all the paintings. Any of the wall paintings, she did all of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So do you guys want to? Oh, can I show you one more thing?
Yes,
I don't know how much
show
time
us
you have.
all. No,
Yeah.
we have all the time. Yeah, show us everything.
Time is, we're yours.
Yes.
So this is amazing.
I set this up kind of just so I can show you.
Okay.
Yes.
So another part of the business is our portables.
Oh.
So basically, this helped a lot too because people didn't want to have parties here.
Okay.
Right, so they could have parties in their backyard. So yeah, so what we do is we rent out these portable packages, and then we have Tupperwares like the blasters. We'll have safety glasses, ammo, everything all included.
Oh wow.
They just come pick it up, pump it up at home, have their Nerf battles there, and then drop it off the next day.
And I assume you're not inflating this, by breathing into it.
No,
Pump would be.
these are massive. Yeah, so we have a really, really loud pump.
Okay.
And on a side note, I've ordered some brand new obstacles
Oh wow.
that are different. They're portable walls that are inflatable as well. So
Okay.
another thing happening. So
Sweet. So
yeah,
looking at the artwork, I assume that I start here.
yes, that's right.
My rival starts there.
That's right. So we got blue wall, red one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first game we always start with is called Tag and Spawn.
Okay.
Okay.
All it is if you get hit, you just touch your wall for 3 seconds,
Okay.
and then just get back in the game.
Okay.
Nice.
That's all it is. That's a good warm up. And then, you guys fool around a little bit, shoot each other. No hard
Awesome.
feelings with anybody. Oh, and no headshots, okay?
Of course.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to put the ammo here.
All
So
right.
yeah, so pull those back all the way till that chamber opens.
Okay.
And then you can put 5 in. Put 5 in there just to be safe.
Okay. So I just.
Yeah, we're on top of each other. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And do you have to draw before each shot?
Yeah, you pull it back and forth for each shot. That's
Okay.
right.
4, 5.
All right, and then in your vest, there's also some pockets.
Oh,
If you want to put a little
oh.
bit of ammo in there.
Okay.
Don't mind if I do.
There we go. It actually looks like a green screen behind me.
Nice.
Love it. Hey.
Hey.
Too much ammo. Hey.
Don't worry about me. Worry about you, bud.
All right, so then when you're ready, You hang out over here by the blue wall. You head over to the red wall.
All right.
You film
Follow
whoever
me.
you want, and I'll call the game.
Follow me. This is gonna be the winner's corner, as we all know.
So you head over to the red wall.
Ready or not, Rekka, I'm coming to hunt you down. I think I'm too excited for this, but you know what? Rekka's gonna shoot the camera. Oh, right. Rekka, you're not allowed to shoot the camera, so stay close beside me. Good, because it'll be beside me the whole time.
All right, red team, are you ready? Ready. Blue team, are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Try. Did you get hit?
It sounded like you did. Okay, now I have to touch the wall.
Yes, you do.
1, 2, 3.
Not today. That's another one. Champion.
2, 3.
She doesn't know about the sniper towers. Come out. Yeah. That's right.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh, your boy's winning. Oh no, where am I? Oh no. Let's see. Yeah! I think it's one more life, Rekka. And it's 5-0.
This is so much cardio. Let's go. I got shot again.
That's it. 5-0. Who is the winner? Your boy. Whew. Wow. Yeah, you weren't kidding. That was,
Just.
nice try. I told you we won silver.
That was
so.
only 2 minutes.
Oh wow.
That was only 2 minutes?
Like 2-3 minutes.
How long did you go for?
An hour.
Oh my god.
1 hour?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean. We try to burn off the energy with the kids. They're
Okay.
like batteries, right? So
Nice.
we'll get them running back and forth.
So then, how many people does this fit at a given time?
We like comfortably about 25 people.
25?
Yeah, it gets chaotic. But if we have younger kids, we can have more. 30. We've had like 35 kids in here before.
Oh
It's
my
pure
God.
chaos of just people shooting each other, but it's pretty fun still.
No, it was like it felt like no time. You know,
Yeah.
like I know you said 2 minutes, but in the heat of the moment, I was like,
Yeah.
where is she? Where's she gonna be?
Oh yeah.
Rekha definitely needs a bit more training.
Okay, wow.
For
Wow.
a seasoned vet like myself, this
Alright.
was another day in the life.
Gabby's an expert at the run and gun, so I mean, what am I supposed to do about that?
Right. You heard it here first. So, as always, Eugene, I think we're gonna walk this way and just
Okay.
get out of the arena.
Sure.
So we can have your logo and everything pop up. We can do.
Oh yeah,
this
it's right in
awesome
front of
logo.
there.
Yeah. Cool.
Shall we close it and we'll stand on either side?
Yeah,
and
let's do
Harvey can
that.
get us from there.
Follow us
Awesome.
through.
All right. And we'll just go like this. And then I can go here.
Stand 1 and 2. So it's a blue team victory today, but maybe next time, Rekha. But Eugene, this has been awesome.
So much fun.
I was expecting to have this much fun, and I still ended up having that much
Honestly,
fun.
best birthday ever. I know what I want to do for my next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adult parties are fun for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. So Eugene, here's the best opportunity. Plug us into your socials. Where can we find you?
Sure.
The events that you have. I know. I'd like to highlight the summer camps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a few things for sure. So if you go to foamfighters.ca, you can go on there. All the information about our business is on there. Go onto the booking page. It'll show all of our availability, what's available, times, and costs and everything. We were only running one camp this summer for 1 week. It's going to be July 18th to the 22nd.
Get in there ASAP because
Yeah.
it's booking fast, right?
Yeah, and that's the only one we're having because we're busy with a lot of other things this summer. One big event for us is, we're going to be in Stony Plain for a couple days for a couple of their events in June.
Nice.
But also we're going to be at the River Cree Night Market June as well. That's a great one because we set up the target range, a mini version of it, and then we have prizes to give away and everything there as
Oh,
well.
awesome.
So that's
Yeah.
the one where you can hone your skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, we'll see you next time, Gabby.
Perfect. So social media is always at.
Oh yeah, so I've got for Instagram it's at Foam Fighters, and then on Facebook it's Foam Fighters YEG.
Perfect. No, as always, Eugene, fantastic. Thank you for having us out. You guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully we showed you how awesome it can be to come here. Like I said, watching it is one thing, but coming here in person is a whole nother experience. It's super fun. Lots of cardio. We both need to hit the gym maybe sometime. But as always, it's been Rekha and Gabby. We are RNG in the 780.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you.